You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation Collecting Center. Come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk to Jeff, what we got for fans. Gonna put their knowledge to the test. Gonna laugh and eat, gonna live the dream. Gonna show you things you've never seen. Gonna sing a song to the break of dawn. Gonna rock this party all night long. So come on everybody, let me see you dance. Get yourself ready for one more chance. You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation Collecting Center. Come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Oh yeah, I should do it live
Yeah.
sometime. I should sing
What's
along
up,
to the
Jeff?
intro sometime. What's going on, Figsy? How you doing, man?
I'm good. Yourself? Yeah, I know. I seen you singing. I was singing along too.
Yeah, I'll do some
I'm
harmonies in the
glad
background.
the mic's muted because I sound terrible.
Something.
Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to the PlayStation Collectors Podcast, Season 2, Episode number 38. And our guest hasn't shown up, but me and Joe are gonna smash out a show for you guys anyway. We got a bunch of questions, lots of pickups.
Mhm.
Should be fun, and yeah, let's get into it. Before we start, I just want to give a big shout out to Sean Bentley for 58 months in a row subscribing on Twitch. That's actually like unbelievable. Yeah, I hope you're doing well, Sean, and thanks for keeping that streak going alive. And I've started streaming more on Twitch, so I hope to see you more around soon on Twitch. And yeah, good luck.
Yeah,
with
me
that.
too, guys. I should probably promote that sometimes, occasionally. I'm streaming on Twitch now as well. If anyone would like to come and watch me play games, I've been doing a lot of shmups and stuff like that lately, and Beat Saber and stuff. Speaking of Beat Saber, you'll never guess. You'll never guess. You'll never guess what broke and isn't working right now. You'll never guess. Just
Well,
possibly,
let me have a guess. Let me have a
possibly
wild
guess what
Let me have a
possibly
wild
could
guess.
be not working right now that I own.
The PSVR 2.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right. It's broken again with the same problem again.
Hey Joe, do you want to say hello in my chat so people can give you a follow? Or I'll
What
give you a
now?
shout out. That works as well.
How do I do what? What do I do? You want in YouTube or Twitch? What you talking about?
Twitch. Shout out.
Okay.
Is it at? I can't mention you because you're not in chat.
Okay. There I am now. Now I'm there.
Oh, there he is. There's J Rad. Let's go. And I'll make you a modway here, so I don't forget to do that ever again.
Oh, cool. Thanks, brother. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, yeah. So
All right. So work starts at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
no. I already have like an actual work starting at 8 a.m. thing going
I'm
on.
joking. What's up, Dr. Trouble? What's up, Castle? What's up, Banfi?
Welcome everybody.
everyone in.
Yeah, appreciate y'all watching the cast.
TJ, Castell, PM. Anyone else we missed?
So anyway, so yeah, I get my PSVR 2 back, and it's the same thing. I don't know what's causing it, but it's not. It's some sort of software problem where I get my PS5 will crash, and I get this error message, and whenever that happens, it like nukes the headset, and it like screws up the headset and makes it so the headset will no longer power cycle. It's not like I dropped it. Nothing's happening. I'm just sitting here and going to play the game, and all of a sudden it just will not turn on, and it just won't work over and over and over again. And so like it's just been driving me crazy. So I think I finally found what was causing the actual software problem. And like I went in and I rebuilt my entire PS5 database. I don't know if you know how to do that. You can go in and like rebuild it all.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then as soon as I did that, all of a sudden, like there were like 12 games that were like just updated. So there was some sort of like software problem that was making it so my system wasn't updating correctly. And that's what was causing the error. And if you have your headset plugged in when it causes the error, it destroys your headset and it makes it so it doesn't work. So Anyway, I'm gonna ship my headset back to repair for what
This
is
is
it,
the
fourth or
fourth
fifth time? The
two
fourth or
headset you've
fifth
had
time.
now, right?
It's either the fourth or the fifth one that I've had.
Are you gonna
And then-
just ask for a refund at this point? Like,
Well, no, I'm going to try one more time because I think I might have actually fixed what was causing the damn software problem. Not that Sony was going to help me or figure it out or do anything to do anything, but I think I finally fixed what was causing the problem. So I'm going to try one more time and see if it works. And if it doesn't, dude, I'm done. But it's totally cooled me on collecting for the PSVR 2. Like I stopped. Like I have 5 games done. I think I'm going to sell my 5 games. Like I'm done. Like I am not collecting for PSVR 2. Like I'm just not doing that.
and I'm certain that it's not just you. I'm sure Sony are like, oh shit, we've got 20, 30, 40, 50% of these getting returned. Like there's a problem here, you know.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh yeah, if you go online in forums and stuff, there are people just posting the exact same problem that I'm having and no responses, no resolutions. Nobody knows how to fix it. Nobody. So yeah. Anyway, I'm pretty much moving beyond that. Like I've decided
You're a big VR fan, so what's the plan? Are you gonna go to PC VR gaming?
Yeah, I'm just gonna move to PC. So I'm gonna be saving up like tax return. I'm gonna be using I can cash out my PTO at my job, so I'm gonna cash out 40 hours of PTO. I'm gonna use my tax return, and then I'm just gonna save up some cash, and I'm gonna throw probably $2,000 into the tower. I'm gonna buy some new monitors. I'm gonna get a really nice headset. I'm gonna probably get a new camera, a new microphone. I'm gonna upgrade all my stuff, but it's gonna be $4,000 to get everything I want.
I mean, it's one of those things. Like I did this PC that I've currently got back in 2017, 2018, and it's 2023, and I'm still playing brand new games that are coming out. I'm still streaming. I'm still doing everything else. Like I've had 2 upgrades and one thing go wrong, and I've probably spent $300 on the actual PC. So, you know, that initial down payment, if you look at it over 4, 5, 6 years, it's definitely worth it. Sean just ordered a gaming PC yesterday. He hit me up for helps on specs for his son, and I hit Andy up because, you know, Andy's the man when it comes to that stuff, and
He really is.
went through with what are the minimum requirements and what to get. So yeah, it sounded like the PC it's going to be pretty awesome. So you'll have to let us know how it goes, Sean.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Congratulations. Yeah, it's exciting. It's fun to do, and yeah, it just needs to be done. So I did these, you know, my computer I'm on was a $2,000 PC in 2014 when I built it.
Yeah.
So this thing is still going strong. It's just you know, it's at the
What's it
point
like
now
a-
where
980 or 780.
I think it's like a 980 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's
No,
okay,
I'm at the
but-
1080 or the 1090, where if you look at minimums today for most games, it's like the 1080. I'm like, I'm still at the minimum. I can still play them.
yeah, I'm at the point now where when I install software, and it's like your hardware is too old, sir. We do not have firmware for you. We do not have drivers for your ancient PC.
I get that
Dang
pop
it.
up when not to try because I've never tried, but it says my computer can't install Windows 11 because
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
Yeah,
not
exactly.
going.
Yeah, not that I give a crap about that anyway either, but yeah. So
Thanks
what
for
I'm
the
gonna do
sub
is,
on Twitch too, Link. You're awesome, man.
so what I'm gonna do is this. Like I said, this PC is great, and what I really like about this PC too is it still has a disk drive in it and a burner and stuff like that. Like I put all that in there, and I'm gonna just make this my little retro PC, and I'm gonna turn this into just an emulation beast. And I'm gonna throw,
Like games from that era and
Mhm.
backwards, it's gonna play awesome, right? You know,
yeah, absolutely badass.
especially
Exactly.
if you stop using it on the internet and don't get viruses and blah blah blah, and it's gonna be
Mhm.
awesome PC.
Yeah, and what I I'm obviously way late to the party, but I didn't realize that you could just throw discs into your emulator, will play your discs, and so I didn't know that. So now that I know that, I've been using it to play my Japanese PS1 games that I'm ordering and stuff like that.
Yep.
So I'm definitely going to keep
Because
it
it's
for
better
that
to
reason
play it on
alone.
the computer. You can just hook a controller up. Don't have to worry about load
Yeah.
time. Don't have to worry about internal storage. Everything.
No memory cards, no load times. Use any controller you want, and it also upscales them to 10. For whatever you want, 10 times resolution at 60 FPS. So yeah,
Sean's saying expensive Christmas present for an 11-year-old.
luckiest 11-year-old on the planet. We'd love to see a video if you film it, Sean. See the reaction. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So what I think we're all. I was born in 1982 as well, by the way. So I think we're all just like going through as an adult, like what we wish we could have had when we were kids. It's like, dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, this kid's gonna flip his lid when he sees this. I would have shit my pants if I got this when I was a little kid. So I don't know. Like, I think a lot of us are going through that as adults. Like, when I was a kid, my dream was to have like every Nintendo game. Like, that's just, I wanted, can you imagine, oh my God, walking in and having a room full of Nintendo games? Like, oh, would have been my dream come true. And as an adult, look what I've done. Are you shocked?
Yeah, I mean, I guess mine would have been all the PlayStation games, you know.
Are you shocked? Yeah, well, I didn't, I missed the boat on Nintendo collecting. And at this point, I'm not going down that road. It's like, it's too easy to emulate that stuff. And it takes up like, 1 megabyte for the entire NES library. So it's like,
Yeah, exactly.
and I can play them. And, a lot of people like to say they want the original hardware and stuff. And there is some problems with some games. Like, what drives me nuts too about emulation is when the audio's off. That's one of my biggest pet peeves is I'm a big audio guy. Like, I love music. I'm very audio sensitive. So I will notice if the audio is off. And so, like, perfect example, like Contra, on emulation, when you fire your gun, it makes this little freaking pea shooter noise. Ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, what the hell is that? That is not supposed to be in the game. And it's like, I can't unhear it now. And so, like, I have to like mute that freaking game when I emulate it. I'm like, So, like, I do see obviously why it's better to have, original hardware and nothing's screwed around. A CRT, the controller, I get it, but
I also wanted to add,
I just missed the boat
that we don't collect, NES, NES, N64. Like, I would have loved to collected that stuff, but I'm the type of person who I only want complete items. So it's like not just buying the cart; it's buying $1,000 box and a $500 manual. And like to me, it's just not feasible. I have no desires to buy. N64 would have been the one for me because I grew up around the PS1, the N64. But I didn't want to just have N64 carts. Like I don't want to just have PS1 discs. That's not a thing that I want to do. I want to have a complete game in the box, how it was. And, if I went back and collected that, I'd probably have a full set, but I'd probably have 300 games, not, 4,000 games. So, I went down a different road.
No, I get that. And like collecting inbox Nintendo stuff is insane because, it's all cardboard, baby. I mean, that stuff's, it's hard to stand the test of time for sure. I just feel like, it's so funny to me because like I don't know any like loose disc collectors. I don't know anybody who just collects loose disc games. I know people who have some
who buy loose discs.
Yeah, and they
people who want to play the game and look for the cheapest copy. They're the people who I'm selling to on eBay. I'm not selling to collectors. I'm selling to the one exception is people completing games. So they've got the case and the manual, and they're buying that to complete. Collectors aren't going and buying a disc. Collectors, if they're spending, especially for expensive games, like some of these games. So I would say the value because I bought a lot of PS1 games back 2 years ago now. It was $600, and I got 200 games plus like 100 loose discs. And I sold every single one. I sold all the loose discs. I only kept the complete stuff that was like perfect that I didn't own. So I probably kept like 10% of it sold 90%. Anyway, the incomplete discs, you sold them for probably like 70 to 80% of what the use price of the games go for. It shocked me. I'm like, it's a $40 game. I'm getting $30 for a disc only because the people who want to play it I've been on eBay going, that's how much the game is, and suddenly a $30 copy goes up. And if you just want to play it, these people it's no difference. It would be like us just wanting, a CD or, I don't know, I'm relating it to something. I'd still want a complete CD, but, a DVD or something. They don't look at it like us, like, it has to be this item. They just want to play it. That's the item.
I have a couple like loose disc games I bought. So I bought Einhander loose disc. I bought Castlevania Chronicles loose disc, and I bought Dragon Quest VII loose disc. The only reason is those are all pretty damn expensive games, and I got the loose disc for a ludicrously good deal. Like I could not say no. Like I got Einhander loose disc for like $25.
Yeah.
I was like, can't you? All right, you're making me buy it at this point.
And in that situation, you're probably on eBay looking for a case and
Correct.
looking for a manual to complete it.
Well, so I am, but in the meantime, I just went out and I spent $10 in some repro cases, and I just have,
Oh, don't tell me that. I hate
bro, I have 3 games. I don't give a crap. I got those 3: Dragon Quest VII, Einhander, and Castlevania Chronicles in little repro cases. And I would love to upgrade them to complete copies, but I'm not in a rush. You know, there's
I have
so much
one
stuff for me to
repro
buy.
case
So
in the entire room.
yeah. So to me, like I said, it's not that I'm like, I want to collect those or whatever, but like I said, like, dude, I couldn't say no. Like I got Castlevania Chronicles for like 40. I got Dragon Quest 7 for like $30. All the discs. I was like, and they're perfect.
Castlevania Chronicles is one I don't have, and I'd really love to own it. But it's just one of
That's
those
one
things.
that's never been re-released anywhere. I don't think. I'm pretty sure that still dies on the PS1.
I actually think the PAL version is cheaper than the North American version. It's a like $200 game over there, right?
It's pretty expensive. It's like $150 probably.
Okay,
Last
so
time
it's
I
about
checked.
150 over here. So it's the
Yeah.
same. Where Castlevania, what's it called?
Symphony of the Night.
Symphony of the Night, like the North American version's a couple $100.
About
PAL
100
version,
now. It's
like,
gone down. It's gone down a little bit.
It's still a $500 game over here if you're lucky.
Yeah, I've seen it come down a bit since the re-release. You know what else I've seen come down is the Ray Storm and Ray Crisis games. Look like they're going down finally. Those were very expensive on PS1, and they've since that PS4 remasters come out, it looks like it's coming down on those. So I'm gonna grab those soon. I think both of them.
Oh, why don't they
My
hurry
PS1
up and
collection.
release Sudokoden so those games can go down and I can finally buy them?
So I think that will happen a little, but I don't think that will happen in the same regard because it's not the same game at all. Like the Suikoden new ones, it's going to be like the Star Ocean games where they're like
I guess so.
remastered and HD. So it will absolutely lower the price on those, but I don't think it will be quite the same just because it's like it is different, and the people who want the original experience will still want that. And I don't know why. There's certain games. There are certain games that like I feel like they just like. If you collect, it's like everybody wants these games.
Well, I would
And it's
assume
just-
Castlevania would be like that. Like
Absolutely.
that's the one that I'm like PS1 collecting. It's like Metal Gear Solid, Castlevania.
It's like when you build a top 10, like what game should I have? These are the
Resident
games that
Evil,
most people
Silent
want.
Hill. Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean Sudoku. Yeah, I meant Sudoku.
Sudoku.
Another one I was going to mention was Chocobo Racing. Like it got the Switch treatment, but it got a terrible treatment. So the price actually dropped a little bit, but not significant or anything.
I prefer to own the original any day than compared to the new.
I still don't
trash
own
that
it.
came
It's
out.
one of those games. It's like it's $500. So do I sell a body part?
It's the new Chocobo Racing is basically like they charge you full price for a console game, and it's a freaking mobile game. Like it was literally designed like a mobile game, and like I'm
And
just
then they
also
they filled it with everything from
Any-
the mobile game, including all the buy this, spend money to unlock
Dude,
this, blah blah
any
blah.
any game that has like a coins to gems to conversion to this to that to like anything that's built that way, like I'm all set. Like I don't like any game that is arrogant enough to say, well, this is how I'm going to manage your time. This is how we're going to allow you to play our game. And this is how
I'll counter that because
I'm
I think a game can do that really well if there's no money involved and
sure.
it's just grinding.
I think that can be done really well, but
Yeah, like
if
Animal
there's
Crossing
money
does
involved,
that sort of stuff.
it's completely out the window because guess what? It's going to be in
Mhm.
favor of the money involved, and they're going to make it so you want to spend money, and it's not enjoyable. Like
Yeah.
it's counteractive to playing games because you play games to have fun and enjoy yourself.
I think all rewards in games should be based on skill and not time and money. Time and money, no fun. Skill. I want to unlock something and be rewarded for something for doing something that is hard or in your game. That is how it should work. I beat something, I get something. I do achievement, I get something. I speed run, I get this. It's not just put in 1,000,000 hours and give me 1,000 gems.
Well, I would
Whoa.
put another
Like,
counter to that.
I
Then
don't
there's
like
a
that.
thing.
That in certain games that they have the RNG aspect, so the time comes
Gambling?
into getting like good seeds or getting the perfect this or this finally happened and I played the best and all the RNG was perfect. I think that comes into it as well, and that can be enjoyable in certain games.
It can be. So if you're into that too, like, so that's fine, and I know people are. But for me, I don't know. I'm real bitter after being addicted to World of Warcraft for a few years. Like, I feel like that game manipulated me psychologically, and so like now I'm like really resistant towards games that try to manipulate you and tell you what you should be doing. I just don't like that. Like, I want a game that's like, dude, if you want to sit here and just grind for 1,000 hours, go ahead. We're not going to stop you. If you want to, whatever. I don't like games that, like, I'm not down with that. Even Animal Crossing, like, I don't like the game that it's like, this is all you're allowed to do today. That's it. No more fun. Your fun is complete.
Stardew Valley do it, and
your fun is complete.
If you want to grind Stardew Valley for 5,000 hours, it's still going to feel the same at 5,000 hours, and you're going to get like reward and satisfaction out of it. You're not going to be told to stop playing or anything like this, or have to pay money or anything like that. I completely.
Yeah, and if you want to sit there and grind until you've broken the game and you're getting 5 million gold a day from your forest of starfruit and whatever you want, like, you can do that. Like, if that's what you want, he's not going to stop you from having too much fun or being OP or doing whatever you want. Like, I much prefer that design than these games that are like, you're allowed to do this once a day, then you're allowed to do this once a day, and then you're allowed to do this once a day, and that's all you're allowed to do.
Mobile gaming style of game, like I played that back in the early 2010s, and like I refuse to play a game that requires money to unlock things, and like I can tell that you're being milked as the customer. Like, it's not a game anymore. You're a consumer.
These are predatory companies that do not look at you as a person who wants that they're trying to entertain. That you are a mark that they are trying to hook and addict to their system that they have designed. They are no different than people who deal meth, knowing that people will get addicted to meth and it will ruin their lives. They don't care. They just want you to make money. They have no problem ruining your life and mentally destroying you. And they don't give a shit. They just want money. They're the same. They're just
you know why some of them are worse is because companies like EA are doing this to kids buying FIFA packs, and they know that they're kids, and they're getting away with it, and they're fighting suitcases against parents, and they're spending millions of dollars to shut parents up, and because my 10-year-old got my credit card and maxed it out on FIFA coins, and now we can't eat for the week, and blah blah. And they know that this is going on. It's been going on for years. Like, certain countries have banned it, but
and you're teaching your child the worst financial life lessons on earth. You're literally teaching them to gamble and take risks and not plan and get addicted to dopamine, and you know what I mean? Like, I can absolutely see this leads to gambling addiction. I
really hate about FIFA. I love the game, and I love the idea of Ultimate Team, but I refuse to play it because you can spend money in it. So to me, it makes no point I'm not going to put in any time into a game knowing that my opposition could have just spent money. When I could also do that, but to me, it's not fun. I don't want to do that. So I'll just sit there and play the single player mode. And I know exactly what I'm going to get out of it, or I'll play against my own friends in real life. I don't want to get into spending money in a game because that's not what I signed up for. But listener brings up a good point. Saying,
I want to talk about this
too. Something behind the school wall, people get mad molding these. And that's definitely true.
It is true.
Especially looking into fighting games. Like, perfect example. Fighting games used to be like Tekken back in the day. Half the characters. If you want the rest of the characters, guess what? You play through the arcade mode, you unlock the story, you unlock one. You play through the story again, you get the next. You play through the story 15 times, you unlock the whole roster. Guess what I did when I was a kid? I played through the story 15 times because I wanted to unlock everyone. And you know what you did after you played through the story? You get the new character, and you play through it with the new character, and it feels awesome. And you play the game for 50 to 100 hours. Today, $2, $1.99, season pass. Like, it'll be out with the game of the year.
Not only that, but the new character that's $2 is the most overpowered character and is now in the meta. And if you don't buy that new character, you will be getting your ass whooped by that new character for the next 3 months until they fix it.
Yeah.
You don't think that's on purpose? You don't think that they accidentally make the purchasable characters OP on purpose on release?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that,
yeah. Oh,
come
they'll fix
on.
it, but they'll fix it once people already spent money on it and they've gotten what they need to get out of it. Now suddenly there's a new character and it's got a new meta and it's $1.99.
Yeah, and so let's say you paid the money, you got the OP character, you got your high rank. Now they nerfed your character, and you're dropping all the way down the ranks. And the new character is the meta, and now you got to purchase that character and learn how to play that character if you want to keep your rank up. It's just. Hold on a second, I gotta do something with the
Yeah,
cat.
you're
Excuse
right.
me 1 second.
I read through Sebastian's comment. The way most countries' gambling laws are written allow for these practices to not count as gambling because the companies can claim that any outcome from the loot boxes has the exact same value. It's the same reason why Pokemon cards and other TSG are not considered gambling, even though they technically. Yeah, you're exactly right. Like, I mean, Pokemon card opening is gambling, like 100%. It's the same as. It's no different to going to the poker machines and trying to get a win, especially when you're just buying the cards to get that one. It becomes a gambling. It's like buying basically buying anything that you can't see, really.
So I want to go back to the comment that Banfi said about putting something behind a skill wall. So it will upset people that they can't get something because of a skill wall. But this is how I want to explain it. If you've ever played the original World of Warcraft, right? Like everything was locked behind a skill wall. Like all the good stuff in the game, you had to beat the game to get it. You had to beat the hardest dungeons. You had to join the raiding guild, dedicate yourself, become good, kill the bosses. Not only that, be part of a community enough that they'll give you the loot. You know what I mean? Just because you're there don't mean you're getting it. You have to have DKP. You have to show up. Like you had to put in work to earn that gear. Okay. So if you got that gear, if you got those rewards, it was an incredibly satisfying feeling. And then not only that, you could go into the main cities of the game and chill out. And people would just be like, what? Look at this dude's gear.
Look at the
Holy
cojones on him.
This guy is insane. Oh my God. And like, and so what ends up happening is those.
And it's a social game. So,
it would inspire these new players to be like, dude, I got to do this. Like, I got to get better. I got to join a guild. I got to start raiding. I got to making my potions. It would encourage people to get better and set up that standard. And so it was good for the whole game because people were like, well, only 10% of the people got to see the content. Yes, the 10% that deserved to got it. Everyone else had to try to work for it and strive for it or whatever. And like that was good for the game. And then what they did is they changed the philosophy because too many people were mad that you couldn't get all the cool stuff. And they made it so there was like 50 different difficulty modes, and there was like a raid finder mode where you could just basically show up and freaking roll your face across the keyboard and like be just completely stupid and totally useless. And you would get the same gear as the greatest gear in the game, except you'd get like it'd be like lower item level. And what it did is it like destroyed that whole community that whole feeling you would get from that game where like now your gear isn't special. Some idiot who rolled his face across the keyboard can have the same gear as you. You know what I mean? Yours is just like two item levels higher or something. Like it just ruined the game. So what you need to do is not listen to people who complain about difficulty. Don't do that. That is the wrong philosophy. Dark Souls, those people, they get it. They understand.
No difficulty level in a video game is the best.
No. Correct. Old games, they was just
I
the
hate
game.
artificial difficulty. That is nothing worse than this boss is hard because we tripled the health.
I don't want it to be accessible to everyone. I prefer and that's fine. If you want, if you want to play Mario, go play Mario. Like you don't have to play every game. There should be games that are specifically skill designed for people who like this type of thing. And because that is the satisfaction. I like those games.
If they want to make an accessible mode, then have one difficulty for everyone, and then have one that's just story mode only, where you don't actually verse the bosses. You just go through and see the story. Because some people can't play video games like that. Can only play with one hand and can never play a Dark Souls.
They could watch playthroughs. That's fine.
exactly. I mean, yeah,
That's
there's
not-
YouTube too.
You
but
know,
I've seen video games with just no gameplay modes, and that combined with what Dark Souls do, I think would be perfect. I want to tell a story, Joe, about a game that I played, and it was a completely different experience. So I bought Star Wars Battlefield 2 about a month after it came out. So when it first came out, it had like one of the worst releases of all time. It came out, had all these microtransactions, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, they cancelled all the microtransactions. They actually took it out of the game. You couldn't spend any money in the game. And they changed the leveling system, blah, blah, blah. So I played it for the first 3 or 4 months, and it was actually fantastic. There was an active community. The leveling system was amazing. Like, it was a grind. And I think I played it for 4 months, and I got to the max level, which for an online game isn't that long. You might think, oh, that's probably like 300-400 hours, which sounds absurd, but people that play Call of Duties and PUBGs and Fortnites play thousands of hours. So I felt like I have great.
My time played on some games is horrific.
Yeah.
A couple hundred hours. I'm like, so you just got started.
Yet unfortunately, because they released the game with microtransactions originally, not many people got into it. Not many people enjoyed it. Not many people got the platinum trophy. But yeah, I personally had a good experience of a game that initially had like an awful release, and because they took it out of the game, it became fun.
So I think this is actually a good time period for gamers now, because I think the consequences of all the terrible business practices are finally starting to like be realized. Like I don't know. I can't speak for a lot. Like there's probably a whole younger generation who doesn't care, but like I completely avoid any game that has microtransactions that are any. I literally go out of my way to not play those games
unless it's cosmetic. Cosmetic
dude.
Microtransactions are fine.
Sure.
If you want to spend $100 to make yourself look like bloody, the queen, or I don't know, whatever you want to look like that's in the game, you do that.
Correct.
But
if you're spending money and you get an advantage over me, then I'm not going to play the game.
But also, at the same time, I want. So So Overwatch had like an interesting way of doing things. Do you remember like they used to do like seasonal events? I'm sure they still do, and they would have like a bunch of skins that were Halloween skins or Christmas skins.
Yeah,
or whatever
most games have a similar system.
Yeah. So they would do it. So if you wanted to, you could just buy them if you wanted to buy them. Or if you wanted to, during the event, you could grind and you could play and try to unlock them.
And you got to play every day. And you got to do different challenges every day. Yeah, PUBG used to do the same thing.
So if I don't like, so let's say you're like cosmetics, totally fine. But let's say the only way to get the cosmetics is to purchase them. There is no in-game avenue to attain them. Not okay with that. Don't like that. Don't want to play that game either. Done. Seriously, like if I can't get all the content from playing the game, I don't want to play your game. I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
And some of those games have like it is very difficult to unlock these things. Like you got to play 30 days in a row and every day. Like some of them is 2 to 3 hours of grinding. But if you're an active player in the community, you get so rewarded out of doing that. And I got this skin, blah blah blah. You see people playing with the skin day one, and you know that they've paid for it. But when you unlock it after day 30, you get that satisfaction.
Yeah, and let's say it's a 30-day event. You unlock 9 out of 10 skins. Buy your last one if you can't. Sure. Like I don't care. Like stuff like I would even probably do that if I had them all or whatever. But like I said, it has to be both. I just like I can't. I'm just like, especially games where you already have to pay for the damn game. I'm like, what the hell, dude? Like, I've already paid you.
Unfortunately, the subscription-based model is here not for gaming. It's here for media, and I think it's here to stay. Like, they've got it in. If you want to get into something seriously, guess what? You're paying $6.99 a month, or $2.99 a month, or $20 a year, or weekly fees, because these companies have all worked out they can do that. You want the best part of what they offer.
I think it's going to be a mixture of the two. So, like, perfect example, like, I don't pay for Sony's freaking stupid services that gives you retro games and all that. I don't pay for that shit. No. All I did is I went on and there's like a few games I wanted and I just bought them. And I have those games and I'm good. That's the way to do it. A streaming option or just a purchase option. But even with the purchase option, you have no ownership at all still at that point. Like literally all you have is access to their servers. That's what you've purchased. You have access to their servers tool that will allow you to
until this date,
watch
and then
this
they
content.
don't want to hear about you.
Yeah, and then
unless
if the company goes out of business,
and
if the company goes out of business, you've lost all of your content. It like if Sony just says like, we're not doing it anymore. Like you can't get it anymore. Like it's gone. And we all know that.
Not just that.
Physically, so
if Xbox come along and say, "Hey, we want to buy this company," and you've put 1,000 hours on your Sony save, and suddenly you've got it digitally, and Xbox buy the company, well, guess what? You can't play it anymore. You got to go buy the physical copy.
Screw that.
Unless it's an online only game, and then you just can't play it full stop. Like,
I also think that
some things will do. Some games will have things where the game will actually transfer your save over. I know Rockstar, when Google Stadia services closed, they actually transferred everyone's save from Red Dead Redemption 2 over to PC, which was really awesome of them. There was one guy who committed like his whole channel was about Red Dead on the Stadia, and he had like his thousands of hours, and the whole community got behind, and Rockstar did it. That was pretty cool.
No, yeah, I mean that's the sort of stuff that it just sucks, dude. Another thing that I think is that I really don't. So streaming it's going to be a lot like the music industry, where like these giant companies and these giant services, they big huge artists will find them profitable, but everyone else will make nothing, pennies off of their work and their art. And so what's going to happen
like that in so many different ways. Look at the what's the place where people make games, and is it Unity?
Yeah,
and it's always been free. Now Unity are charging. Suddenly, small people are going to lose out on that. Like it's so many different parts of the industries where small people are getting crushed today, and it's going to go in 10 years. We're not going to see games made by one person. Like a game like Stardew Valley won't exist anymore because someone like that won't be able to make it.
Yeah, but this is why I don't think it will be all streaming. No, you won't be able to. So I think that you're going to see a lot less games for sure. And but I still think Steam is going to dominate. And that's another thing that I don't think that the Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft are actually prepared for. If they want to enter the all digital space, Steam is going to crush them. I'm sorry. I am 100% not going to be building in a digital PlayStation Sony library or a digital. I'm not doing that. If I'm going to purchase anything digitally at this point, it's going to be on Steam. Do you want to know why? Steam's been doing it forever, and I already have a huge ecosystem of game collection on Steam.
Yep.
So as soon as it's all digital, they're going to realize that they have eliminated what made them appealing in the market. That will no longer be. I don't care about having I'm not going to buy a PlayStation console once it's all digital. Why? I'm just going to be upgrading my PC. Once it's all digital, that's over. So like, I don't think they realize how bad of an idea it is. It's just not it's going to be terrible, dude, for them too. Like it's not going to be good. Like,
they will solely be relying on IPs to get the sales. What else?
And I don't give a crap about their IPs. You think you're going to draw me in with Spider-Man and Last of Us? You're wrong, dude.
And it's going to come down to like, put yourself in the price of a young person without money. Why would you buy that when you can buy a PC, when you can do things that you can't do on the console with a PC? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and the Steam you can play it on your PC, you can play it on your tablet, you can play it on your Steam Deck, you can play it on your phone, you can do remote play, you can get a Steam Link, you can do everything that they already have everything. And
if you want to play Xbox games, it's got Game Pass.
It's
already got a third of the market. It's already got the whole PC market. You're spot on. 100%.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just like, let's say Nintendo is an all digital console now. So what? I'm paying all this money just to have their handheld, or to have their console hooked up to the TV. Why would I do that when I could just have it all on Steam? I know, like you said, first party games, maybe, but like eventually, I even feel like
Mario Kart 9, or is it going to be Mario Kart 8 Super Deluxe Hyper Edition?
I think they'll do
DLC
both.
times 99,000.
I think when the new console comes out, they will do both, and I would buy both. They should release the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Complete, which I have to say is just an absolute monster of a game at this point. Have you played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? It has an absurd amount of tracks now, dude. It's like
I haven't played it for probably 2 years, and when I
4,
played
5,
it was overwhelming.
24. I think there's 80 tracks. There's 80 tracks, and in Mario Kart, track over that's like there's such amazing designed tracks. So you're getting 80 insanely good tracks too. It's not like some other game where there's 80 tracks and they're all just like 3 skins or a couple of things enough. Every Mario Kart track is like unique. It's got its own thing going on. Like it's just incredible, that game.
Well, a lot of
insane.
games use tracks of the real world tracks. It's made all its tracks. That's the difference, Like you could look at a Gran Turismo game and go, but it's got like 300 racetracks. But it didn't make 300 racetracks. It got the racetracks in real life and made video game versions of them and put them in the game.
What's actually cool is there's a new NASCAR arcade racing game that I got, and it takes like real world tracks like Talladega or whatever, and it's like completely makes them all completely crazy and arcadey and stuff. And it's actually a pretty good game. So the odds of me buying a NASCAR game are like negative 5 million%, but this is like an arcade racer. And it was like, so I was like, okay, pretty good game. It's a lot like F-Zero. It really reminds me of that. It's got like that super speed, and it's all about like there's like lanes on the track that give you boost and like give you like there's like a boost you can use, like a turbo, and like certain things on the track recharge your boosts. And then what's really interesting, it's got this mechanic where at the end of each lap you can pit if you want, or you can just keep going. And if you pit, it fully recharges your turbo. And if you don't pit, you get like 20% recharge turbo. So there is like a little strategy there where like if you like hold off and you're like conservative with your turbo in the first round, even if you're like in 5th, 6th, 7th place, once the second lap starts, if everybody pits and you don't, you just fly through and you recharge your boost maybe to 80% instead of 100. But now you're up front, baby. And it's really fun, dude. I actually like it.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's not, you're going to get maybe 20, 30 hours out of it total before you're bored of it, but it's fun. I love arcade racers. There's so many good ones due right now. Freaking
Did you ever play the
was
Juiced
dope.
series?
Which one?
Juiced and Juiced 2?
I haven't played those, but I think I own the Juiced on PS3, Juiced 2.
That one, like, think like Need for Speed crossed with. Did you ever play a Flash game called Drag Sim Racer where you like just made a drag racer and raced across the screen? Like it was fun. You just upgrading your race car and it fully had the whole drag scene into it and street racing. And yeah, I really enjoyed Juice. I'm disappointed that there isn't like a genre like that that's mainstream these days. Same with Burnout. Like Burnout hasn't got a mainstream genre anymore, which is disappointing.
I think
like,
that
hardcore full-on genre, or it's like Forza, and that's about it.
I'm not into the simulation stuff as much, like Gran Turismo and Forza. That stuff's cool, but I just prefer arcade games. And I honestly, the PS3 has the sickest arcade racing library, dude. It's got so many Need for Speeds and the Juiced games and the Ridge Racers and Split Second and gosh, dude, all the MotorStorm games. There's so many badass racing games on the PS3, dude. That's like
my keeps of motorbike games as well, like
Nailed is really good.
Those ATV games. And, yeah, there's so many. Oh, and then games like did you ever play it was a really fun snow sled machine game, Ski-Doo Challenge it was called.
I don't think I played that one.
Let me pull that. Like, this is a full hidden gem.
Yeah, I like I love games like that. Dude, yeah, I mean I like Jet Moto and I like Sled Storm and I like all those little arcade racing games. Those things are super fun. So
Ski-Doo Challenge.
Yeah.
It is so much fun. Like I play two-player with my friend when he comes over, and we have a blast.
Yeah, dude. Like I love stuff like that, man.
Oh, there's another one that's a little bit pricey. It's called World of Outlaws Sprint Cars.
Yeah, there's a World of Outlaw on PS4 too.
So, terrible game if you play with a controller. Absolutely terrible game. If you've got a controller only, do not play this game. I played it and I'm like, this is shit.
Mhm.
Anyway, I went around my buddy's place and he had a racing sim.
Mm.
It is so much fun in a racing sim. Oh my god, the drifting in that game is insane.
Yeah, dude.
But I had a terrible time on a controller. Like, it was a completely different experience racing with a steering wheel playing that game. So, it was obviously designed for that.
Yeah, man. That I gotta be honest. That's one thing that I am pretty jealous about when I look online and I see people's racing rig setups. I'm just like, oh. And for me, it's not a money thing; it's a space thing. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah,
where am I gonna build a little race car in my house? Like, I don't have a spot for it. But dude, I mean, so I would I wish there were enough like VR racing sims where you could just build like a dedicated VR one. Like, there's a couple, but I don't think there's enough to build just a VR one.
I've seen people build them out of real cars, man. Like some
Yeah,
people.
dude.
I mean,
That
you've
is
seen
badass.
obviously the airplane ones, and
Mhm.
you have to fully be into like that's the only game that I play.
I mean, I don't want to put anything in my house that I can't like get out of my house either.
Yeah, I guess you 100%.
Like,
I used to have one of the ones where it was just the controller and you had the pedals and maybe a gear stick. And
yeah,
but
I that's what I want. What I want to do is I want to build like the ultra wide monitor setup one where you put the that huge curved monitor in front of you and then just get the rig.
but then like how many hours are you going to put into races? That's my thing. Like I don't play races for that long.
Like everything else, 20 hours or so?
if you had them, but yeah, it's like why don't you go out and buy the fancy controller for all the like the Hatsune Miku type games that you play, etc.
So, dude, I am going to do that someday. So I have like 4 or 5 PS4s, and like I plan on eventually like setting them up for specific things. And I'm going to at one point set up. I'm gonna get that $500 Hatsune Miku controller, the big ass, because it's basically a replica of the arcade controller. And I'm gonna set up a nice monitor, that controller on a nice stand, and a standalone PS4 with nothing but Hatsune Miku on it, and I'm just gonna have that there, and you can just go over and play that anytime. I think I might stream that game soon.
But that's the thing, you have to really be into it, and you've thought about this for a long time to like
Yeah,
go
I
and
would.
purchase that. It's the same as buying a racing sim or a flight sim or anything like that. And
Yeah,
dude, these things are expensive, man. Like when I worked at the pawn shop, I was regularly selling them on secondhand online for like $400 or $500, and the brand new price is only like $600. So people were even willing to, just save $100 to get a secondhand one because they really, really want one. And
Oh, dude,
yeah, that was those items like the VR. They were just you post them and they're sold. You post them on Monday and you've already shipped them out by Friday. It's crazy.
Dude, it's a lot of fun. I would love to get one, like the ones with like the haptic seat. So ever seen those? They actually like vibrate and shake and shit. And
But then the people that do
Yeah,
it, where
that'd
it's like
be fun, man.
insane, and it replicates like what you're doing in the game, and the guy will be driving down a hill, and in real life he'll be like,
yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like you shake it in the seat, and like they have the controllers that the steering wheels. A lot of them have that in it now. So like if you have a tight turn, you go off road, it will shake and like give you like a little like feedback and stuff like that. Man, that is just badass. So, and also I just feel like, I don't know, racing games are always cutting edge as far as technology and graphics go. They're always just like, anytime a new console comes out, like the first thing I'm checking out is racing games. I want to see how good do these cars look and how amazing does everything look. And like, dude, like,
you're right with graphics and everything. They're always looking amazing.
Dude, those TTI Ride a Man games. Oh my god, bro! Like, I'm like, the first time I watched footage of that game, I'm like, is that real? Like, I literally thought it was real. and once you actually this is on my phone. Once you blow it up and you're looking at it, you're like, okay, yeah, it's a game. I can definitely see that it's a game. But like from far away, when you're not paying attention, I'm like, that looks like a real house and real trees and real, like, that is amazing.
Yeah, it's spot on. And what I just seen, is that person alive?
Hey, Joe, I wanted to
Hmm.
bring up our topic of the night, and that's Black Friday. And in particular, do
Mm.
Black Friday sales still feel like they used to? And
No,
we'll
not at
start off by I think that's no.
Mm-mm.
And, I've seen videos online of people going into stores in America, not Australia, and this is like this week, and they
Mhm.
go to the Black Friday sale. This is a Target store, and it had the special, and then they pulled the Black Friday special off, and it was the same price usually.
So I 100% don't think the deals are as good at all. And like it's perfect example. There was like tons of games on Amazon for Black Friday special, and all they were is like newer-ish games that have hit their first sale price. That's it. So you're seeing lots of $40 games for 30, $50 games for $35, $40, and that's a sale, but that's just a regular sale. If you pay attention to collecting these games and a new $40, $50 game comes out, if you just wait a month or two, you can get it for 30, 35, like easily, no problem. So there was a lot of games that were on Black Friday special that I completely passed over because I'm like, this is just a regular sale price. I guarantee you it'll be this price or cheaper around Christmas or right after Christmas. Like it will be cheaper than this price. So those are the ones that I don't be fooled. Now, some of them are legit Black Friday specials. Like I bought Hogwarts Legacy on the PS4 for $19.99. I don't think I'm going to find that for that price somewhere else later on. I don't. I think that'll be $30, $40 for a long time. So there, you have to be like picky, and you got to like kind of know the market and the value on games, and pay attention to what prices are on games to know what's even worth it. Like what is the deal? Like you know what I mean? Like
And then that's important. Like if you're buying something,
mhm.
it shouldn't be a game that you've just found that day. It should be something that, especially if you're spending more than a certain amount, it should be something that you've looked up for a few weeks and you're aware of the price. And this is the cheapest you've seen it because it's $40 here and $40 here and 35 here, and you've just found it for $30. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the one to buy. I just wanted to add, I feel today the way consumers work is people expect a discount all the time. So that's brought into stores where stores are constantly having sales where they mightn't have always done that, say back in 2010 or 2005. And they always have to be competitive with all the other stores. And because of that, the profit margins get lower and lower and lower. So when you get to, Black Friday after doing a whole year of sales, etc., like, what sale can you do? Your profit margins are already low, etc. You've just got to hype it up as much as you can, and the sale mightn't be any better than the end of the year sale in July or June and July, or the sale that they just had for Halloween, etc. And
Exactly.
it's disappointing.
So I did a lot of shopping on
Black
Black Friday this week. I checked about everywhere, and I would like to discuss who do I think had the best deals. So the first place that I got to give a shout out to, I think just had the most amazing freaking deals ever. And I literally, they had more stuff that I couldn't even buy at all. They had so much stuff I wanted on sale, was Video Games Plus. Holy crap, did they have amazing deals, dudes. And I'm kicking myself because I didn't realize it, but they put like a ton of like Shin Megami Tensei 3DS games up for sale, Etrian Odyssey. Like they put all of these amazing
deal.
dude, and I freaking missed the boat on that. Like I saw a Twitter post and it was like, they're putting these up. I'm like, really? And I'm like, oh, they're all sold out. I was like, no, but like, dude, so that's what I'm talking about. So not only did they have like an amazing sale on regular stuff, but they had a special like Black Friday thing that was like worth jumping on there and monitoring throughout the day. If it was awesome. I bought so many Red Art games from them this year. Like they had amazing sales on Red Art games. Like everything was like half off, dude. And so like they were all Red Art games, especially, they put a lot of like indie titles where I'm like, that's cool, but I don't know if I want to spend $40, $50 on this, you know what I mean? But for $15 Canadian, yeah, baby. I bought a stack, dude. I got like a lot of stuff.
$12 American or something.
Yeah, dude. They're talking about like $10 a game, free
But
shipping.
that would literally be just the shipping. Like,
yeah, man. And then like So Hard Copy Games, I don't know if you're familiar with that company, but they put out, they're like a limited print company that puts out titles, and I'm not into their games, whatever, but if you're into PS4 collecting, you should probably pick them up, and they're $9.99 Canadian right now. It's like $7. You can get like, you know, the talking simulator, Lick Spear. Wait, I think that one sold out. They had that game, Klaus, the Music Joy, whatever the hell that is. They have the whole bunch. It's $9.99. You can't go wrong.
Oh,
So-
just on that, like completely different topic, but just while we're talking about these games, if we get back to like 2018, 2019, finding a low print game for $9.99 wasn't a thing. Finding a low print game for $15 wasn't a thing. I think we've hit that age where these companies are actually really struggling to sell their stock, and they're becoming backlog of stock because people have just got over the whole business model of, well, there's 5,000 copies here, so you have to buy it,
Well,
otherwise it'll sell out and blah, blah, blah. Because that's not the truth anymore.
They
You don't have-
overwhelmed the community.
yeah, you don't have to wait because it's not cheaper. Like, it's not more expensive on eBay anymore. Suddenly, like, the resellers are the ones stuck with copies. And guess what? The resellers aren't going to sit on their copies. They're lowering the prices to get rid of them. And what now that's happening, you're seeing companies go under. There's been one or two of these companies go under. You're seeing companies do, like, blind boxes, give out shit games. Limited Run, obviously been doing it for a long time, but I know, Joe, you bought blind boxes and you got like 6 copies of one game from a certain company.
Yeah, it was some special reserve, but they did take care of me, so I don't want to let you get. Like I complained and they sent me like a bunch of different games, and I got some cool shit. They sent me the Downwell like special reserve version, which they did not have to do that at all. That wasn't even, I think, an option in the blind box category. They gave me that to like make up for it. So
not to mention
cool about it.
Their customer service, which is awesome in that sense. But just the fact that you got 6 copies of one game says to me that, you know, they got a problem with their stock and they're trying to get rid of this stuff. Correct. You know, they're probably banking on the fact that maybe 50% of people don't complain and they get rid of 300 copies of this one game that they're stuck with. And that probably happened because there's a lot of people out there that wouldn't have sent that email and wouldn't have complained, blah, blah, blah. But we're definitely seeing more sales through these companies. Like, we're seeing limited run games go on sale, and you're seeing games through all these companies go on sale now, which we never used to see. It's becoming like regular media stock.
Correct. Well, limited run, they are just a public. They're not, I don't think they, I don't even consider them like a limited print rare game.
I would think limited run would actually hold their stock on purpose to keep the price. I feel like they've got a warehouse full of all their stock, and like they don't want to sell their games on discount if they don't have to.
So that's and going back to who I think has the best sales and the worst sales, they had like the worst. I think limited run games had the most terrible Black Friday sale I've ever seen, because like they put their books on sale, which cool. Like, cool, dude. Like, no, I mean, okay, cool. I don't care. That's fine. Like, as an additional item, as a gift to add to my purchase, maybe I'd buy one of those books for my friend who likes.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Yeah, seriously. And then they had a handful of games that were their like convention editions. So they had like special covers, but even then it was like
the regular price, right?
Maybe regular price, barely on sale, and it was like 10 games. And they weren't like, these. It wasn't the fate of House of Fata Morgana or something that people are, I don't know. It was just disappointing. But they did do a badass like back stock sale thingy last Christmas, so maybe they're gonna do that again this year. And I'm hoping they do. So last Christmas they had an incredibly good sale, and I dropped like $250 with them, which is hilarious because it was right after that whole controversy where they fired that person and all that stuff. And everyone's like, screw limited run games. I'm never buying from them again. And I'm over here like,
limited run controversy every step of the way at this point, right?
Dude, I don't let people dictate what I do by stupid shit like that. I'm like, I'll buy that shit just to piss people off. Like, and I'm not even in the fight, but I just like people getting upset. I'll be honest with you. I'm like an actual troll. like an actual real troll. Like people don't understand. Like I literally will just say stuff that I don't mean or care or think about just to see how people react because I enjoy the shit out of it because I think it's funny. Because I just am like, to me, it's like, why people should have some self-awareness and a little self-control, and they should be like aware that people are doing that to them and are trying to manipulate them. I am. Like when someone's saying something or trying to be edgy or whatever, I'm like, well, this person's clearly trying to upset me, or they're trying to instigate, or they're hoping I say something, or they're trying, I don't do that. I just laugh. What I do is I usually make a joke more offensive back to them, and they don't know what to do. They something's offensive to me, and I say something even more offensive, and they're like, well, shit, I don't know what to do now. I'm like, yeah, it's not like, I don't know. So, but yeah, so I don't like that. But yeah, they I'm hoping they have a nice sale. Who else had good sales? Pix and Love had a badass sale. So I don't know if you guys are that. I feel like that's a site not a lot of people talk about or go to. Yeah, that's cool. So that company, Pix and Love, I think they're European. I don't know where they're from, but I'm sure they're from Europe. They had like really good sales on their Switch games and their PS4 games. And they have a lot of badass games. So they have a ton of those King of Fighter games, and they even make those cool Neo Geo cases. So if you like those games in the Neo Geo cases, they had those on. I don't even know. It's probably over now, but. And then they had like Metal Gear, Metal Slugs on sales. Just tons of cool shit. Like they had that Young Souls game. Anyway, they had a really good deal. The only thing about them that was a little rough is that their shipping is like kind of expensive. So like I didn't pull the trigger on my order with them because like even with the sale, they were like looking like 20 to 30 euros for the shipping. And I was just like, yeah, dude, that's a lot. Especially when you convert it into US dollars, we're talking like $30, $40 to ship it. And at that point, I'm like, am I getting a deal? So I don't know. Maybe they're not the best deal if you're living, outside of Europe. But if you're in Europe and the shipping is cheaper, I would definitely check their website out. They have really good deals too. Play Asia, they had a pretty badass deal. Sales too. My problem with that is I own it all already because I'm like completely addicted to buying games from Japan, and I'm completely addicted to buying Asian English games and Asian English Switch games and all that stuff. So they had this great sale, and I'm like, oh, own it. Damn it. I wish I paid that price. So that was actually more of a painful experience for me personally than like a pleasant one, because all I did was look up all these games that I already own and how cheap they are, and I'm like, no. So yeah, another thing I just want to gripe about, which has nothing to do with anything, but now that Figsy is not here, I can just talk and no one can stop me. So they have these so I showed off the Zelda. Well, let me just grab it again. I'll show you. So Hori makes Joy-Cons. I hate regular Joy-Cons from Nintendo. I think they're shit. So I always get these Hori controllers, and they make these like special limited edition ones. And so, like for example, this is the the Tears of the Kingdom one. Really badass. Love it. I was able to go on Play Asia, order it off their website, and have it shipped to my home. And here it is. It's beautiful. I love it. So they just announced a Dragon Quest one of these, and it is fucking gorgeous, bro. It is so fucking awesome. It's like all like light teal. It's got the blue slimes all over. I want it more than life itself, but you can't get it. It's like for Japan only. It's one of those stupid freaking things.
Can
you
you
go on their website
like a mailing service address and buy it that way?
So you've told me about that. I need to look into that because I don't know.
Message Clean who comes on the show because he does that. Like I know about it, but I've only done it in Korea before. I've never done it in Japan.
Yeah, I've
I
never
just want
done
to add, you brought up Play Asia. Dude, I've seen brand new PS4 games for $2.
Yeah, man.
Like
they had
$2. What the fuck?
Dude, they had God. Oh yeah, Video Games Plus had Supermarket Shriek. Actually, I don't know what that is. Like some stupid supermarket game for $4.99 Canadian.
Oh, this is
that's like $2.
$2, like a decent game that I bought for the collection for like $40.
Oh, that's so, dude. The one game that's driving me, I was talking to you about this earlier, is this is getting Tandem on the PS4, and it's like this weird, like horror-y puzzle game. Kind of gives me like Nightmare Before Christmas vibes, Little Nightmares. It's got like that weird art style or whatever. And like when I saw this game, I'm like, oh, this will be like a rare game in the future. I don't feel like this will fly under the radar. So I bought it for like 40 or 50 bucks, dude. Like I bought that for it. And like it was on sale over at VGP for $9.99 Canadian. I was like, ow, dude. I'm like, ow. I should. But honestly, like I almost thought about buying like 10 of them because I do still like believe that that game will be like kind of collectible in the future. But I don't know. It's like it is really, really hard to speculate on PS4. I feel like if it's already demanding a decent price, maybe that's a good indicator. But even then, we're still in the reprint world, so like you never know what's gonna get like the reprint treatment. And like
one of our
so
viewers
it's
brought up
tough,
a really
man.
good point in one of the comment sections that I wanted to discuss, and it's true with the PS4. Like PS4 is unlike any system I've ever seen. Like collecting for the PS4 at the start of the PS4 library, if you look at the first 3 or 4 years, the majority of the expensive games all come from there because people were collecting PS4 like it was any other system. I got to buy the expensive games because these are the ones to get now. These are the rare games to get now. Godzilla, perfect example. Came out the year the PS4 came out. Rare game as soon as it comes out. It's the one game that all big PS4 collectors have got it. They've all forked out $200-$300. You go on eBay, there's 10 copies selling every single week for $200-$300. But you go towards 2019, 2020, 2021, 22, 23, these guys who started collecting full sets have slowly slowed down. Like I was a full set PS4 collector back in 2016, 17.
Everybody was.
Until 50 games into my full limited run set where I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Like I can't keep up. And I gave up. I know. Look at
Suzanne in the UK, like she was collecting a full PS4 set. Like PS Commander was collecting a full PS4 set. I know there's still people in North America going for a full North American PS4 sets, and that's insane. And shout out to Jason if you're watching, who's doing it sealed.
Hell yeah!
But I know for a fact Jason doesn't want to keep buying limited run games anymore. He's sick of it. Like he's just doing it because he's 600 in and watched up at this point, which I completely agree with him. But limited run, no, he's doing it too. So guess what? It's a constant money source for them. It's turning the power on. They're making profits. They're going to keep doing it. If they can do it.
Endless amount of Kenpo RPGs for them to go through. Endless amounts.
I feel like if the PS4 library gets to the point where it's 4, 5, 6,000 games,
I think it's already
we're
there.
never going to
It's
see
between
a point.
4,000 and 5,000 already.
Well,
I think
we're never going to see full set collectors going for it, and that's going to cause those games like Africa on PS3 is expensive because it's part of the full set. It's not a great game. People don't buy it because it's great. People buy it because they have to get it for the full set. FIFA 18, 19, PES 18. Those games are expensive because of the full set factor. That I don't feel will apply to the PS4. Like these indie games that people aren't raving about, like hidden gems and stuff, will be. But the games that aren't great, I feel people aren't going to be going out and sourcing these games in the long run for the PS4. The PS4 is going to have 1,000, probably more than 1,000 games that you should own. And like it's going to have the best library of all time, the best games from every era. It already does. Like it has such an amazing library. But I feel like it's never going to have those crazy, exuberant prices that libraries like the Wii U had with the Wii U is a perfect example. Like any weird game on the Wii U is hundreds of dollars because it didn't sell so many full Wii U set collectors, and it just drives the price of those games that way. We're not going to see that in the PS4.
So you're 100% correct. I think there's going to be a lot more games that are good games and or rare games that not necessarily will be expensive. So there's like limited run games, like you said, there are tons. You can get tons of sealed limited run games for less than $30 on eBay all day long because it's just they're games that are weird. They're little indie games. They're artsy fartsy games where even though they may be incredible games with critical acclaim and everybody, they're just not in demand. And a lot of people want them. And that's what it comes down to is do people want them? And so then what, like you said, a lot of the thing that drives demand is people who want them for full sets. And I don't think there are going to be a lot of people who want them for full sets. But I do think will be people who are more about like my style of collecting for the PS4, where they're going to want to get all of the shmups that came out, or they're going to want to get all the horror games, or they're going to want all of the FMV games, or they're going to want all of the VR. So there'll be like those subsets that are very collectible, where I think people still will go for the full, like maybe the Sedesco set. I do see there being weirdos in the
I see that
in
being
the future
more popular than collecting full sets.
Correct.
Like,
so
it's on Facebook being PSVR full set collectors or Sedesco full set collectors. Or, I don't see limited run, but you know, there might be these companies where people want to get the full set of these companies.
Or all the Xseed games, or all the Fun Stock games, or all the GS2 games, or like whatever it is. So
all the first press games and slip covers.
Yeah, well, who knows?
I'm funny, aren't I?
Yeah, good luck. Good luck. I hope you get them.
First person in that full set will be like 2,242. Yeah.
So
after their grandkids finally realize that they're gonna put the family name right and release these slip covers.
So what I think will end up happening is I think that there will be some games like that do go up in value for that reason, that are like not known yet. But the overall library, you're going to have way more games that aren't worth a lot of money. So that's why I feel like speculating is really hard to do. And it's like, if you're looking at the trends, what happens is once the games become a certain value, they get reprinted, and then that just takes care of it anyway. So it's very hard to
bring into it too. Yeah,
or re-released on the PS5, or new versions come out, and that lowers the price of these games. So it's like,
adding to what you just brought up. When I first did my whole rare and collectible PS4 series, if I look back now, a lot of those games I don't think will be rare and collectible, because I feel like at the time, it made sense, but I never knew that this was going to happen. And now it doesn't make sense, because people won't, like, I was bringing up facts like, if going for a full set, like, you're going to need this and blah, blah, blah. That doesn't make sense anymore, and things like that. And like, some of those games, JRPGs and the horror games, and the games are great and had low prints, and, games like Godzilla that, can't be reprinted because they've lost the licensing. And there's plenty of games like that, like I think one of the Ghostbuster games or something. Plenty of the games that had the whole, like, it got one copy at GameStop or one copy at EB Games. It's an indie game that no one's heard of, that, no one's raving about. That isn't a bad game, but it's not a good game. I don't feel like they're going to be the ones to shoot up in price, where in the past I did, and I talked about them being, you should pick this up.
Well, here's the thing. So my plan is to collect all the ones that I think will do that, and then just spam the hell out of social media until I inflate the marketplace on those games, therefore fulfilling my own prophecy. I'll just be like, Ice Cream Surfer is the best fucking game. Everyone has to have this. It is the greatest thing in the world. It's an Ice Cream Surfer selling for $250.
You're giving me a Mari flashbacks.
Just to laugh. I would just, honestly, that would be hysterical to do, is to like take some game that's terrible and just like make it valuable. I just would find that amusing as hell. Like I said, I'm a troll.
That's what
don't listen to me, guys, about don't take anything I say seriously.
That's what all these companies do. Limited Rare Games sat down one day and said, you know what would be funny? If we made a game about poop.
Yeah.
And it was $1,000. And guess what? Actually, it wasn't Limited Rare Games. It was a meeting in Limited Run. And they're like, you know what we could do for an April Fool's joke? And it's on Twitter, and it's been screenshotted, and we know for a fact that that's what happened. But it'll never get revealed unless, like, things get ugly.
So I want to go back to a thing you said, too, about how there were in 2016, 2017, all these people who were gung-ho trying to get PS4 sets, collecting all the games from this company. We as consumers were overwhelmed by the manufacturers. It literally became unsustainable. It literally
jobs, doing well for like all these people, and they just couldn't keep up anymore. Like, and you felt like you were the problem. Like, I'm like, I can't afford these games.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. it got to the point where, like, let's forget about retail. Let's just say you were just collecting limited run, strictly limited,
Play
First
Asia.
Press, Play Asia, Red Art Games, Pix and Love.
Well, they went around
Fangamer.
back then. It was just
Yeah.
limited run games, strictly limited, and Play Asia. That's all that really existed for the first couple of years. There
That's
was
fair.
one hard copy game. There was one special reserve game.
And that's where people could keep up, and like I could even keep up. But then, because it used to be strictly limited would put out one game every few months or something.
They had
You know
one
what I
a month
mean?
for the first
Yeah,
year.
it was.
They had 12 games in their first year, I'm sure.
Yeah, okay, and then now it's like I said, they forced their own community to be picky about what to buy because we can't afford it all anymore. We cannot afford to keep it up. And then what ends up happening is these companies have a couple duds, and now they're screwed because they have all these games printed. No one's buying them. They're not this huge company making tons of money, and now they're like having it. Now they have to take pre-orders on a new product to fund the losses from the old product, and it ends up being this situation.
Well, it also takes away a lot of the FOMO. If you suddenly can't keep up anymore, you have less and less.
You just
FOMO,
give up. Yeah,
which is
exactly.
what these companies rely on. So,
Mhm.
in theory, what their number one tactic and what they're selling to is they're the ones ruining that.
Correct.
I'll throw something out to you. If limited run games kept at one release a year, I may not have stopped, and I may have still been buying one a month. So one a month, not a year. But I may still be buying them, years after I stopped buying these games. And I'm sure that there's tens of hundreds of thousands of people in the exact same situation as me, who, if it was reasonable, and they did just get good games and games that people are requesting, not just random games that the first time I hear about it is when they announce it. That's 90% of limited run games. I'm sorry. Yeah. I know some of them are great, and I just haven't heard about them. But 90% of the games that they announce, I hadn't heard about.
Yeah, exactly. There are all these little indie titles and stuff like that you're like, whatever about. And like I said, those are all the games that you can go on and get them for $19.99, $20, $25. And honestly, I recommend doing that now because I do think eventually those will dry up. And I just don't know. I'm curious.
I used to think I'll throw something at you, Joe. So, I'm selling a lot of my limited run and strictly limited and Play Asia. I listed them on eBay almost 2 months ago. I haven't sold one, which for eBay is really weird because I list them the same as all my other listings, competitive to the consumer. It's the cheapest, arguably the cheapest price on there with the coupons I have, etc. Blah blah blah. I haven't sold a single one, which to me says you have to sell it under market value, which says the demand isn't there. I'm selling common PS4 games, can't keep up. I'm selling them should I have sold that more expensive? I've listed baseball games and it's selling in 24 hours. In my head, I'm like, did I list it too cheap? You list the limited run game cheaper than the other ones. It's just sitting there. Yeah. So, and these are the first limited run. These aren't number 300. These are number 20, number 21, number 30. These are the ones that people should want if they want. So to me, it suggests the market isn't there anymore.
No, I do think that it's just not the same across the board. So it used to be
What's up, sir?
A lot of these companies, you would have to be there the minute stuff went up for sale or just gone in 5 minutes. And that's just not the case on a lot of these things anymore. Strictly limited and super rare games, they almost never instantly sell out anymore. So I'll log on and be like, oh, make sure I get my pre-order in, and then I'll check it 2 days later. It's 70% left. I'm like, oh, who gives a damn then? You know what also drives me crazy? How come if I pre-order on 5 minutes after the orders go live, do I get number 4,000 out of 5,000? Why does that happen, companies? I'm just curious. How come if you're going to number these damn things, you're not prioritizing the people who give you their money immediately pre-order day one within the
first person to get number one?
Seriously? Well, or say
some
top
companies
25 or
some companies
I really do think so.
And 100% Video Game Plus used to do this. They did it with Class of Heroes 2G because we all compared what time we ordered and the numbers we got, and every single one went in order of who ordered first got the higher number or the lower number. Every single one of us.
Yeah, and if just a thought. If you guys put the time, a little extra energy into doing that, your
Guess
FOMO
what?
would be going.
They're all gonna try and do it at once. I mean,
Yeah.
that could cause servers to go blah blah blah. But
Sure.
if that's your problem, then if your problem is too many people giving you money at once, then upgrade the fucking server.
So I'm blown away that like these companies don't have the ability to like rent some like bigger server for day one releases where they only use this pay. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand why.
That should be a business.
I don't get. Yeah, exactly. There should be like an
Google has rent out
company.
this high-powered server that can handle a million people at once.
We can handle a million things at once, and
You
we
can only have it
can
for
we
an
can
hour.
detect bots, and we can stop scalping, and we
Yeah.
can automatically delete suspicious sales, and all.
We're gonna patent this, Joe. We're gonna Figsy and Joe Bot. It's gonna be cool.
Mhm.
That's
That's right.
where you're going to be buying everything through, and we're going to take 5% of everything you guys spend for the next 400 years.
Oh, now I like this idea. I like that idea. Give me a cut of this poop slinger money. Give me my.
I'm sure ideas have been generated from podcasts like this.
I hope so. I hope everybody's listening, and also I hope that I get free shit for my troubles. So if any of you guys out there like my ideas and you make money, you should send me free
Listener
stuff.
said there are probably only a few dozen people left who actually buy every single limited run release. And I guarantee you, every single one of those people would be in a financial situation where
It's less than 1% of their income, or less
Yeah.
than, it's not significant to them. It hasn't affected their lives in a way. They can buy 100 of them. It's not going to affect them because
it's just, who else is spending? I believe they've got 600 PS4 games at this point. Let's just do PS4. 600 games.
Mhm.
Let's say someone living in Europe, or we want to do North America. We'll do North America.
Mhm.
So the average game is what, $30? How much is one game shipped?
$6.99 maybe in
All
America.
right, so let's average it out $5 because you might combine shipping. Just that alone, no collector's editions, none of anything else, just the base game. We're just assuming 600. I think there's more than 600.
Mhm. The 18 grand.
I mean, yeah, that's like
Over 20 grand already, and we're talking US dollars. That's just for base games. We know some games for $60.
Yeah.
Most people doing this are buying collector's editions. They also buy the Switch versions. They're also buying the Vita versions.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking people with full sets have probably spent close to 30, 40, even 50,000 US dollars. Like,
Yeah.
You know,
If you
that's-
just collect collector's editions, good God.
Yeah.
Dear Lord, you have spent a lot of money.
And that's not an investment or anything. Like, if you want to sell this stuff, if you put it in a bulk lot, you're getting fractions of what you get. You have to sell every
Mhm.
single piece individually
Individually.
broken down.
down on eBay or
Which
Etsy
takes
or
8 months.
Amazon.
8 months to sell it. It doesn't just like.
I
it's
mean,
not
I
like
do
you-
this full time. I thought it would be a chore. I'm still not like halfway through selling my collection. I've been doing it for 9 months now. It's insane.
Yeah.
And like I'm
You
getting
gotta
the
be
value
extremely
out of
patient.
it, but it's hard work too because
With every single game you list, there's a potential person who wants to send you a PM, wants photos of the disc,
Mhm.
wants to ask you about this. They don't end up buying it. You've just wasted another 10 minutes.
Yep.
Like, I take 6 photos of every single item that I list. Like,
Yeah, it is a lot of. And here's the other thing. Let's be realistic. Like most people, when they decide to sell their collection, they're doing it for like an emergency, or they're moving, or
Yeah,
they don't have
impulse.
time. They don't
Impulse.
have time. So like you'll be people who are like, or my favorite reason, women. The number one destroyer of video game collections in the universe is women.
Oh,
I don't
divorce.
care. I can't tell you how many people I have seen who are either getting divorced,
Yeah.
or their wife is like, it's either me or the game room, baby. And honestly, that's probably the dude's fault. So if your wife is that mad that you have this collection, you're probably being ridiculous. I'm just being honest with you. Like, I have this collection, and my girlfriend, she isn't obviously thrilled, but you damn know I'm paying all the bills, and I'm taking her out to dinner. I'm spending my money on her too. I'm not being neglectful. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, this is like, my extra fun money I buy stuff with, and it keeps me from, I always explain to her, I'm like, well, I could have a drinking hobby, or I could go out with the boys every day. I could do heroin if you want. Maybe
I like how
a
that's
little
the way you
cocaine. I could be, I'm like, let's compare and contrast to all the other people I know in my life, what they're doing. How am I doing? Yeah, all right. All of a sudden, my little stupid video game collection ain't that bad, is it? Like, let's talk about your cousin.
And if you
let's talk about
if you ever got in the thought in your head of selling it, you know for a fact that if you want to do that, you probably got to stop working and sell video games for a year, because that's realistically the only way you can get value out of it. Like, for a fact it's going to be worth more money than it's going to be worth doing for a fact, and you would regret it for the rest of your life if you did one of the whole. Here's my whole collection for 20 grand or 30 grand.
No, I already have my entire financial future planned. This is how I'm going to do it. Let me go full screen for this. This is important. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start a bidding war between James Johnson and Sean Powers for the ultimate PS5 accessory. That's right. That's right, boys. Who wants it? Who wants it? Who wants it? Who needs this sweet, one of a kind, collectible PS5 Slurpee cup, dude? Like new, barely used. I think only one Slurpee was ever in this thing, so it's got my DNA in it as well. That's cost extra. I'm just saying. Bidding starts at 25,000. 25,000, boys.
I was wondering where this was going.
I got nothing.
Well, this brings up a good point. It says unless you're going for a full set, the difference between number 30 limited run and number 220, there's no difference. And it's like, it's a great point. Unless a game's like Firewatch or
1 through 10, maybe. You want to get the
possibly
first
1 through 10, but unless a game has that, number 1, obviously, but unless it's a popular game that people want, it's not going to be anything special. It's probably going to be cheaper than what you paid for it, which
most people buying limited run, including myself, assume that I'm buying these games are always going to be worth more than I paid for it because of the way they're sold. And it's sold out. It must be worth more. Well, no, that's not how it's working, because there's now so many of them that, 2,000 games of this copy, but guess what? There's probably like 10 million limited run games out there. It's not a low print item anymore. Like, there's so many of these fucking things. It's not rare to find limited run games in a shop. It used to be.
It's it's overwhelming. So you made such a good point earlier, like about how the Wii U games are worth a lot, and like that the N64, like these libraries of games that are 500 or less, let's say, or even 1,000 or less, your mind can be like, okay, I can accomplish this. This is actually possible. So I feel like that's a lot more appealing to collect. When you say, like you said, like there's 5,000 games in the collection, it's like, no, dude, that's just not going to happen. Or even if you're like, there are 600 limited run games to collect. Just that alone, you're like, I don't know, man. And are all 600 of these games good? No. So it's like, damn. So like, that's why I'm not a full set collector. Because I cannot fork over tons of cash for bad games.
Well, full set collecting's fun. Like, I had so much fun doing it. And so many people did, and I feel like limited run they were owned by collectors, and they knew that these girls were having fun in the community. Like, not so much PS3 or Wii U, 100%. It got the Vita community. The Vita community was what got limited run going. We can make money off these guys, because there was so many passionate guys and girls as well, because there were so many girls in the scene going for full Vita sets back when it was cheap, like 2013, 14, 15, 16. I know Josh and Doug were in the community too, and when they popped up, they were doing Vita games, man, and it was awesome. Like, what they did for Vita was so amazing. They literally gave the Vita a second life. Limited run 100% gave the Vita a second life. But unfortunately, what they're doing for the PS4 is that they're ruining collecting. And it's not just them. It's the business model that
Look how much money these guys are making. There's now 10 limited runs. And that
Mhm.
means there's 10 times as many games out there. On top of all the retail games, on top of all the exclusives that everyone's putting out,
Mhm.
on top of it being an easy console to develop for, on top of it only requiring 1,000 copies, on top of it, PS4 games are cheap to make compared to Switch games. So it
Mhm.
just has all these things going for it, as well as there's more games than ever. There's so many small studios trying to get their name out there. There's so many games on PS4 because they've made it so easy, and it's ruined full set collecting. Like, I don't see anyone having a worldwide PS4 set.
A worldwide? Good
You need
God.
you need more than just one room. You need 3 or 4 dedicated rooms for that. It will be a collection of people who do it for a museum. I guarantee the first person to have a full PS4 set will be a community-based thing. You know, it'll be blah blah blah. It's not going to be one guy in a house, because we've already seen how one of my best friends was doing it. Man, he had 2 rooms of his house full of PS4 games. And one thing to bring up: no one just goes for full sets of every game. You buy the collector's edition, you buy the steelbook, you buy the slipcover. You know
Yeah,
how
they buy
much
all the versions.
room the PS4 ones take up? Like, it is so absurd. It's completely taken away full set collecting. And like Joe said, people won't collect full PS4 sets. People will collect full JRPG sets, full Atlas sets,
Exactly.
full Tedesco sets. Or they will just be like,
Koei Tecmo sets. All the anime games.
Set, a full Vita set.
All the Dragon Ball games and stuff, yeah.
There's so many games on the PS4. I'm just going to buy all the games I want. Like, I'm at that point now where my PS4 collection is just going to be curated. It's not going to be any collections that I want, because I feel like they're all absurd. I'm selling Tedesco titles that I've got no interest in, because even some of those games.
I've thought about it, man. I've thought about it. I have like the full Tedesco set.
I love them, but they got shit games. Like, let's be honest, some of their games are crap. And I've got.
Are you saying Pharaoh on the PS4 is not a masterpiece, sir? I don't even think it works. I think the game's broken. I don't even think. Maybe it works.
I don't anymore because I've put them on eBay. I had so many games that the server's already closed.
Yeah.
Like, why am I holding a game? And dude, Evolve. I believe the servers are closed in Evolve. I had the regular version, the slipcover, the Australian exclusive boxed limited edition. Like, it just doesn't make sense to own all these things. Go back to the PS3. Go back to the PS2, PS1. There's one version of these things. I guess PS3 had a lot, but like, you go back to the PS1 days, it's just the game. It was rare you got a collector's edition.
You know what melts my brain is the Dead by Daylight Nightmare Edition that sells for like $100 to $150. Why are you guys buying that for $100? That's going to get shut off. You're not going to be able to play that game in 10 years. I am very confused. Is it so that you have the Stranger Things DLC on the disc so you can't play it in 10 years? I don't understand that. If someone could please explain that one to me, I understand it's rare. I understand why people want it now, and I understand it has extra content that you can't get on the store or whatever. It's got like some sort of DLC that is like delisted from the store, but it's going to get shut off, correct? Like, am I crazy? Am I right? Like, all game is getting shut off. So that $150 purchase at one point will be worth 10 cents. It'll be
just
Skyhawk,
on that, Joe. There's not just that.
Starhawk or whatever.
Any game that requires a day one patch, once the servers are down, they're in the same boat. If you've got a collector's edition that has a day one patch and PS4 one day shut the servers down, which will happen because we're in a world that they don't keep old things alive. Guess unless like fans,
the community has to. That's the only thing that.
Yeah. You're relying on people being good out of their hearts to. Yeah, and
I imagine
then because if it does go down, majority of people will shut on it and the price will go down. So that's I don't know, and I don't know if this will ever be legal, but maybe. So you know how there's ROM sites where people just the community comes together, they take the files, they download it. Do you think someday there will be an online community that's like,
come to here and we'll get you the updated patch version for this game, and you'll be able to download it on a USB and stick it in your PS4 and update your file or something. Do you think that's possible, or do you
Well,
think
you'd
that
like to think so. But
Sony is just gonna like not allow it, or like Nintendo won't allow it? Nintendo's
Nintendo could come along and
freaking
sue them,
ridiculous.
and it's just all gone. Like that's happened with Nintendo in the past. With
which is so
soundtrack
annoying because
music.
they won't offer it. That's what's so annoying. It's like it's not like they're like, well, we'll sell you your updated files for $1, but we don't want you to steal them.
No,
They're just
they're
like, no,
actively pushing
you
to
just
get
can't-
rid of it.
you just can't update your shit, and we're not going to let you. Like I don't understand that. So I'm hoping that maybe that's the case. Maybe they're like the community will find a way to preserve it because there's so many of us in the community that are passionate about that stuff.
Like
but then
the guest we had on a couple of weeks ago, where the Switch project he's doing, and they're tracking Switch games the day they come out, and it keeps people doing it, and it's full set collectors, and you know, it's people that care about this, and they're doing it today. And if a game isn't working, they're emailing the company and they're demanding action. This wasn't happening back in the day, and you know, because it wasn't happening for so long, they've been getting away with it for so long. It's happened so much. So like, Switch community and Switch collecting will be awesome because of people like that. We get people like Cyrus, and you know,
And
people that are pushing. But it's almost like just doing the fair thing, doing the right thing.
Yeah. And this is exactly my point where I was like, I think this is going to be a good time for
Preservation and
fans. I think right now you're about to see companies like take a big step back and reevaluate everything that they're doing, because for years all of these companies have just taken for granted that where people are going to support them and give them money. But now it is so our entertainment in general is so oversaturated. People can read books, watch YouTube, make Twitch, do this. There's just a million options for people to entertain themselves. Lots of them are free. For instance, you're watching this show right now. No one's being charged. Like, you can be entertained for free. So it is not a given.
To continue watching the
going.
podcast, please pay $4.99.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm joking. Hey Joe, we are an hour and a half in.
Oh,
We haven't got a quiz today. However, we
Okay.
have got a quiz for chat.
all right.
So let's get chat's question on. We do have a quiz, but Andy didn't show up, unfortunately. He had personal relations to deal with. So we gonna
I believe he said, what did he say? Giant hemorrhoids and explosive diarrhea? I believe that's what he said, right? He ate some bad clams. No,
I hope he's watching.
I do too. I'll be right
All
back.
right, so let me just pull up the answer.
Where did Joe go? Oh, there he is. Give me 1 second, guys. If anyone in chat who's active wants to jump in for the quiz and short notice, feel free. I will post the link in chat.
Perhaps to be someone who regularly participates, but I know a lot of you guys are active. Sorry, I'm just trying to find it. It's a really good quiz, so they're getting really good. All right, chat, here is your question for the week. Bam! Before I bring out the question, we got the scores. So unorganized.
So, in our UU show, currently Banfi is destroying everyone with a lead of 3 points. The only other person to score is Evan with 1 point. So, today's question is worth 1 point, and I need the full video game title.
That first one is just like really melting my brain. It's like the down planet question mark. I'm like,
It's such a good one, but it's not easy. I don't expect anyone to get this in the next minute or so.
Oh, I think Bell just got it. I think Bellisker just got it. Freaking genius.
Wow, Sebastian just fucking got it.
That's pretty amazing, bro.
Where in the world is Carmen San Diego is correct. GG's, Ballista.
That was
correct.
impressive, dude. Like for
That
real.
is really impressive. we'll leave this up so you guys can work out for yourselves how it was done.
He couldn't even get that last picture in there. He's like, yeah. Not just so you know, like any question that's like, this is a favorite soccer player, that's you might as well leave that shit blank for me.
You can take North America out for that one. Hang on, it was for the EU show, Joe.
Yes,
So
yeah, I did for EU. That's fine, but it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
if you that's like it's like well, let me put it. That's like being like, we should do all famous NASCAR for the EU show. But people are like, who the fuck are these guys?
Banffy said I would never have gotten that, and so I said me too.
I can't believe how fast you got it. I'm like,
Yeah. I mean, must know. I mean, I played the game back in the day. So
oh, I love it. So can I sing this? Like the do up, dip up, do up. Where you've been around the world.
I remember
From
playing it in primary school.
Carolina.
It was like a reward for doing well in geography. And I love geography, so I played it a lot in the classroom.
I think I've talked about this on the show. Like I used to watch that show all the time, and I loved it. And like
I didn't know it was a show until you told me on the show.
dude, it was badass. And they used to have this a cappella group called Rockapella because they rocked. Woo! Anyway, and they came to my school in the 8th grade and performed live, and I got to freaking jam out with I got to hear Carmen
Plus,
San
that's
Diego.
the only NTSC exclusive Master System game I own, so it's a little bit more in my mind than other games would be.
Hey, that's pretty impressive. That was a Master System game? Wow.
Yeah, like early 90s, late 80s.
Hey,
Dude,
I got some games to show off, Joe. In our pickups,
All
they are PS3 twin packs.
Okay.
I just went through my collection and grabbed out a few. It's not all of them. Definitely not all of them. And I know for a fact there's more in my collection. So, yeah, it's not a full list, but it's might be pretty cool to see because some of these you don't see every day, that's for sure.
Sure. What you got?
I know for a fact one of the rarest ones actually in the collection. I just remembered. First one we got Assassin's Creed Revelations / Assassin's Creed Brotherhood double pack. So I believe these all, majority of them come with 2 discs and 2 manuals, or sometimes they have like a double manual. If I haven't got the plastic on them, I'll open them up. I'm pretty sure they're all in the plastic.
Double manual is kind of cool.
Next we have Assassin's Creed 2 Game of the Year Edition and Assassin's Creed.
Can I tell you a secret?
Yeah.
I've never played any Assassin's Creed game.
You've told me that. It's crazy. And this one's actually the rare one. Think of rare Assassin's Creed game. But this one is really hard to track down, especially the English version. The Russian version used to be easy to get, but that might be different today. So here we have Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Assassin's Creed Rogue. This is one of the last like 20 or 30 power games I needed for a full set.
I think I've just had a realization, Figsy.
Yeah.
You ever meet those guys that are like super hipster guys and they're just like, I don't drink Bud Light. I only drink mud water pale ale from this guy's basement. He brews 1 bottle a year. Like, I feel like I might be that guy for video games. I think I might be that guy. I'm like, I don't play that popular stuff. I only like refined weird garbage from Spain and Germany that got released.
I don't just play it. I don't even try it.
Dude, seriously, I literally like
100 million people like it. Nah, not
the
for
more
not
popular
for
it is,
rad.
the less interested I am. I swear to God, I think I might have I might hate myself. I think I might hate myself.
All right, now, Joe, I hope you play these next ones because these are really good games. And they're of people of a cultured taste. They're not of the AAA market.
Yeah.
And they're definitely worth picking up too. They're quite expensive, and
Okay.
Shocked on how expensive these next 2 are going for.
Mhm.
So here we have Tales of Xillia and Tales of Xillia 2.
Those games are pretty expensive in general. Like
Yeah.
those are
So
not
the double
cheap.
pack.
Any
You
version.
can
Of
only
those.
imagine what it goes for. And this one's really cool. Like it's got the
2 games on the spine in the 2
That is
colors.
cool.
Yeah, really, really cool.
Yeah, I think there's a there's a PS4 triple pack for the Tales games that I want to get.
Yeah,
Zestiria,
that's a PAL exclusive.
Vesperia, and some.
It has
I want
all
to get
3
that.
games as well as the slipcover. It's a really cool pack.
Is it all in like one disc, or is it just all 3 games in a slipcover?
It's all 3 games in the slipcover.
Okay, maybe I won't get that because I do all. I don't know the games. If it was like all like I don't know, I'm a sucker. Dude, you James Johnson. All right, so here I am, like I hate the PSVR 2. I don't want to collect for it.
I'd seen them in the Discord 3 weeks ago. They're not new to me. So if you want to see things first, check out the Discord.
Those double packs he was showing off on PS5.
He had up that PSVR 2 double pack. I'm like, they have a VR 2 double pack. Like that's freaking tempting, but I'm like, dude, I don't know. I think I'm all set. I think I'm like completely moving away from the PSVR 2. I'm considered maybe just like selling it, dude. Like if they send it up for repair and I get it back, just freaking selling it and calling it a wash, dude. Just getting out. I might do that. Like I don't know. Just go right into PC.
Tales of Grace's Heir and Tales of Symphonia Chronicles, which already includes 2 games, I believe, with Tales of Symphonia and Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World. So you get 3 games in this pack, which is super cool. That's why they got the 3 different things on it.
That is cool.
So it's actually, I mean, it used to be good value for money. It's like hundreds of dollars now. $100 plus. Next one, probably not as exciting, but still pretty cool. I like double packs. Here we have Tom Clancy Ghost Recon Future Soldier and Tom Clancy Ghost Recon 2. And it hasn't got a slipcover, so we'll check it out. So this one's got a double manual. What I mean by that is the 2-in-1. And this only has 1 disc. But it's got all the content on the disc, which is cool. No download codes.
Oh, the good old days, the way it's supposed to be.
Next one's really cool. So here we have the Dead Island Riptide double pack. Includes all the DLC from both games, and I believe it's all on the disc, but mine's sealed, so don't 100% quote me on that.
There are so many versions of the freaking games to collect.
Oh, dude, I've started selling them. I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, not include slipcover. I got double packs. Like, I go to sell copies and I go to my master list and I delete them. I'm like, why is there 9 versions of this game? And I'm like, why do I own that? It's like, oh my god.
I don't know if it's still on sale if anybody's interested, but Amazon had the Dead Island 2 pre-order collector's edition for $49.99, marked down from $100 yesterday when I looked.
It's not bad.
For PS5, PS4, and Switch. And they were selling just the standard Dead Island 2 for $35. So for $49.99, you get the I didn't get it because it's that weird ass box.
35 quotes what you said before, where you're like, new games have gone from 40 down to 35, and they're like, hey, it's a Black Friday sale, it's $35.
Yeah, that's dude. And I guarantee you, I'll be able to get Dead Island 2 for
$35 anytime in the next 12 months.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm super looking forward to the January through March. I feel like PS4 games are going to get clearanced out everywhere because they're supposedly stopping to make them. Oh, by the way, it's already happened all the time now. You go to buy something and the PS5 copy is $25, the Switch copy is $25, and the PS4 copy is $40. It's already happening because they're still making the Switch copy because the Switch is still being supported. PS5 is still being, but the PS4 is getting phased out, boys. So like a lot of the time now, that PS4 copy is not going down like it used to, and like that's pissing me off. So you gotta be hopping on some of this stuff now. Just letting you know, if you're into PS4, which I'm the only one of the weirdos who is.
Yeah, next we got one that I think you'll want, Joe, because you're into this series, collecting it at the moment, and that is the One Piece Pirate Warrior 1 and 2 double pack.
I'm pretty much required to
version, but it includes English, so I don't really care for the $100 UK version when this one was like $30.
So I have Pirate Warriors 3 and Pirate Warriors 4, so I think I am OCD required to purchase those. Yes.
That could be perfect. And final one I'm going to show is Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4 double pack. This one's actually really hard to find. It was, again, one of the later games I needed for a full set when I was going for one.
That's all the double packs I brought along. There's plenty more. I might
Word.
bring some more out one podcast and show all the other ones I didn't show tonight.
Sweet. Well, I
Jack
have.
Green saying he's going for a complete PS2 greatest hits collection. Nice.
That's fun. See that I just see Jack, like, that's the future of collecting. It's like you don't, like, you know, because even if you told me like, oh, like, let's start collecting a full PS2 set, that's over what was it, 1,800 games, something like that. Like, that's a lot.
200 PS2 power games, like absurd.
No,
like you need a
that's-
game room. You can't just have
Yeah.
a shelf. You need a game room. You know, you
Yeah.
need a whole room in a house
Mhm.
that's just got video games. So
I'm
you
not
need,
doing
if
that.
you've got a family, you know, and you've got kids, then you need a big house. Otherwise, guess what?
Mhm.
It's going to be in boxes. And what's the point of collecting if it's in boxes in the closet? Like, I know
Yes.
there's plenty of people out there who do that, and I mean, I know you love the hobby, but like, you
Mm.
could have a small collection of really things that you love and spend more money on an expensive game and display it still. You know, I would hate to have as many games as I do and it's not displayed. Like, that would be the worst thing for me. And I used to live in a place where I couldn't display that. And when I bought a house, I made sure that there was room to store my video games because that's who I am as a collector.
This is a huge parallel too. So think about, like, so when you talk about the PS4 collecting, think about the PS2 collecting. The percentage of PS2 collectors going for full sets is probably a small minority of PS2 collectors, but I bet the percentage of PS2 collectors who are going for full subsets are like all the horror games. I guarantee you, like, that's why those games are like, there's so many people doing that. And the people who are like, I want all the JRPGs and the PS2.
Or even
I
smaller.
want all of the
all
shmups
the
on the
Resident Evil
PS2.
games, all the
I
Silent
want all
Hill
that. Yes, exactly. Like, that sort of collecting is what I see. Like, that's what I was trying to say earlier with the PS4. I think the same thing will happen. I think that the people, there might be a few dedicated people who are trolling for full sets, which, like I said, I admire the hell out of you. I think it's a thing of beauty. If you have, like, it to me, it literally is beautiful when you watch.
Sorry, that is my full PS5 collection. Every single one of those games I want to play, except one or two that are JRPGs, and I've got them sealed, and I feel like one's a Neptunia game that, like, I like the series, you know. But all the others I've played, and I've put my money in, and I've got my money out of them.
Yeah, so I have
PS5. We don't talk about that much.
Hmm.
PS5 is insane. The PS5's, I'm sure it's at 1,000 games already. Like, it hasn't been out. It's been out for just over 2 years. The library is absolutely insane.
I think Sean and James are around 700, 750 games or something.
That's
I'm guessing
2/3 of a full PS3 set already, and we're 2 years in.
Yeah.
No, 3 years in. 3 years in. Sorry, we're 3 years in, and this library was around for 12 years.
Mm-hmm. That is pretty crazy.
Let's just assume
Worst case scenario, probably PS5's around for 10 years, which is probably going to be around for a lot longer. Just 10 years.
Mhm.
We're already at, 700 games. It's going to be another system that's 3,000 games, man. Like,
Oh yeah,
crazy.
yeah, and let's see, like, and
And it's
like
not
I said,
slowing down; it's picking up.
it's in that's why I admire the people who are trying to do it. And like you said though, but like I at some point it literally becomes a, where do you put them? You need multiple rooms to have them displayed. Or it's gonna be like you're gonna have like there'll be like a row of shelves with shelves in front of it that you slide back and forth or some shit. So people are gonna have to get creative to display it. I don't know. So
I remember this time in the PS3 life cycle,
Mm.
Probably even a few years back, looking at like the PS4, like the PS3,
Mhm.
you were seeing a release every 3 months, every 2 months. Like, we could talk about the releases in the groups, and it would go weeks, and there would be price drops before you see a new game come out. And I can tell you all the games: Cars 3, FIFA 18, 19,
Mhm.
the Just Dance 2018, 2019, PES 2018, 19, Persona 5, the 2 limited run games that got done, the 2 other low print games that got done. That's it. We got like 10 games after 2016, man. Like, that's so, as a collector, it's so obtainable. Like, today, it's just absurd.
Yeah.
If
And
a new company can print a game and they can make money, guess what? You get a Switch copy, you get a PS4 copy, you get a PS5 copy. If they can get an Xbox copy, you get an Xbox copy too. If they can make a collector's edition with a steelbook and blah 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 and charge whatever, you get all that as well. Like
so
much today, it's insane.
it's not going to last. So let's just be real. Number one, people nowadays, right now, have less disposable income than they've had in a long time. There is less money for people to spend on entertainment right now than there used to be.
Worldwide,
100%.
Interest rates are going up, inflation's gone up.
Buying a car is insane. Buying a house is
now
insane.
Where most people's money goes. You know, mortgages is where people's money goes. Rent's where most people's money goes.
I can't order everything I want. I have to budget myself and be like, I can only have this much to spend on.
Yeah, I haven't bought Uber Eats or like had food delivered for over 12 months.
That's right.
Like, I don't take away food anymore. You know, I only cook at home. And
I've been donating sperm like crazy to keep up with the bills. I don't think I can do it anymore.
We're gonna have all these little Joes running around in 20 years.
There's gonna be I'm 6'5". There'll be a bunch of large Joes running around.
What's that game that you just mentioned?
So my plan is
they're gonna be the target audience.
My plan is to spread my seed across the world, have like an army of children, and then I'm gonna unite them all and start like a cult. And we're going to basically take over the world. It's going to be pretty interesting. But I am going to need like generals, foot soldiers, and just like assassins and stuff. So if anybody is interested, I will need some people. So you can just get in touch with me on Facebook. Anyway, so back to my original point. There's just not as much money going around. So because of that, I think that's good. Because what will happen is people will be more picky about what they're purchasing. And that FOMO will go away because it's just your FOMO doesn't matter anymore when you can't afford it. So you can be like, oh man, I wish I could buy this, but I can't. So screw it. And as soon as the more that happens, the less the habit will break. People will just be like, I'm not just giving money to these people for it's not happening. And it's oversaturated big time. So I don't think it's gonna cause a crash per se, like they say like video game crash, this will crash, but a lot of industries in general are about to retract, and they have to go back in and they have to say, listen, there's not enough money to go around, and we have to really be careful and really think about the type of products that we're making, and we need to really be competitive in the market if we want to make money. We're not just going to make money because we're the latest thing anymore. People can't afford to do that anymore. And so I think overall it's going to be a good thing because it is going to like force these companies to have to go back to the drawing table, and we are not going to be they're like yours crappy games, your like live service games. I think Sony said they canceled like 8 of them. They were going to make good. Cancel all of them. No, I hope all of these games that are just money milking machines that aren't designed to be anything other than business transactions designed as games, literally like casinos and lottery, just literally like we've designed a way to manipulate and trick people into playing this game and getting them addicted and screwing them out of their money. That's great. That's going to not work. And also, I really, like I've said this before, DLC and like these I'm not buying your game anymore on day one if I know it's going to have 4 DLC packs and you're going to release an updated version in 2 to 3 years. You have done this to yourself. You're not getting $70 day one from me on a game that I know is like the vanilla version of the game that's not complete. I'm not doing it anymore. And so like, I think that whole attitude with Baldur's Gate and Zelda and everything is being reevaluated. And like, these are games of the year, huge selling games, no DLC, no updates, and people respect that and appreciate that. Oh man.
I'm bringing on the whole changing culture and what's going to force into these games. They instantly made me think of low print companies. So with the whole less money being out there, I hope that forces these companies to be like, hang on, our games aren't selling as well. Let's just assume limited run, for example. This is generic, not targeted at that then, but let's just assume them. I hope what that causes is them to be like, okay, we can't now do shit games. Let's stop doing shit games and only do games like Persona 3, Persona 4, games that people really want, because they're still going to find the way to buy those games.
Yeah.
And it might get, if it gets into that and every game they put out's like that, suddenly they're going to get people's money again, and the cycle's going to flip back onto how it used to go. And that hopefully that's what it takes. And, you know, they stop cutting corners and stop releasing broken shit. And, you know, if there's DLC, put it all on the cart, because that's what we want as collectors. Like, they've completely got away from what they were initially doing, and they started preserving video games for collectors. That's what they were doing. They were marketing themselves as video game preservationists. Today, they're just another Walmart or another.
So what? The entire viewpoint that people used to have for limited run games is completely on limited rare games now. Limited rare games has everything that limited run games wishes they were. Limited rare games, which is they are the ones that are like, actually, no, these are limited print. These are it, and that's it. There's only a couple copies. You get 10 minutes, buy them or not. That's it. It is what it is. Like, and even there, that's gone down a little bit. But like that whole thing that they used to have is gone.
Yeah, the whole FOMO thing, it's not there anymore.
It's not.
I mean, they don't even sell. Like, I give them credit on how they do their sales today, but
yeah, I like it better.
Part of me used to enjoy waking up at 2 a.m. to buy something, and you get a good feeling if you do buy one of those things. I'm not saying it's good for the market. I 100% think it's way better the way it's done today, but I don't buy them today. I used to buy them when they were sold the other way, so. You know,
well, they're dumb. Look, think of this. Imagine this. Riddle me this. Imagine you could join the limited run club, and you had to give them $50 for the year, and then when they had their games come out, you got one copy automatically pre-ordered for you, and you didn't have to wait, and you would just get one. You know what I mean? And they could literally make it into like, I bet you could get 1,000 people to sign up. And like now you have 1,000 people giving you $50 a year, and all the 1,000 copies are getting sold instantly. It's like you can do it that way.
Still sell things your own way, 100%.
Yeah,
don't give them ideas, Joe. We're going to see subscription services for limited run games next year.
Dude, I'm about
all thanks to Joe Rad, guys.
That's right. I just want my cut. You hear me, boys? I just want my cut. Oh, we rad. That's right.
Hey guys, if you haven't,
you hear how many kids I have out there?
A new episode of Who Wants to Be a Game Collector dropped last night. It's probably the best episode that's ever come out. It was definitely the closest. We had Kevin taking on Ricky Andre, full North American set collector for the PS3 versus full PAL set collector for the PS3.
They were both
There was a bonus appearance by Joe. So check it out. There will be another video dropping next week, as well as the next 4 weeks in a row until the series finishes. So definitely check those episodes out. I know more people watch the podcast than the actual new videos. So a third of you listening right now haven't watched them, so definitely go and check them out. And yeah, you got anything else to add, Joe?
Yeah, I got my one pickup, bruh. Can I show?
Oh, we got one pickup from Joe.
I got one, dudes. Let's do it. Oh, where am I? There I am. Okay. So first off, how are my eyes looking? By the way, they still all fucking.
How do they feel? Do you feel good after the surgery?
You like that? Oh, does that look like it feels good, bro?
It's still a bit red.
A little bit.
We're still in quiz mode.
Mauled me. Yeah, we are. That's right. Is that Abe Lincoln in the background? All right. So I got one. I got one pickup, and it's a funny story. I was talking to Reggie, and like, you know, we both bought the PS5 copy when it went on sale, and the PS4 copy wasn't on sale. And,
I know what this is.
And we're like, we're gonna wait. Don't buy it. We're gonna wait. And so then, like earlier in the week, on like Monday, it went on sale for $30. And Reggie was like, "Yo, check it out." And I'm like, "Dude, should we buy it?" He's like, "Nah, man, wait, don't buy it." Right? And so I sent him the Braveheart meme where he's like, "Oh," you know what I mean? I'm like, "All right, I'm not buying it." And so then on Thursday, I saw a tweet that the PS5 copy went on sale again. So I was like, "Oh, all right, let me go check." And dude, this thing was on sale for $17.99. So I sent Reggie a message, and I'm like, "No, get it." So there it is. The Daymare 1994 PS4 Sandcastle Collector's Edition, limited of 5,000 copies or whatever. Now, I will say, if you look, do you see the box is a little crushed right there in the bottom? See it? You see this?
Right Expect here? That. I mean,
They're a little smushed. None of and you know, it's got a little damage. So my PS5 one that I got I did a little bit better in condition. So the top here has got a little tear right there. Kind of fucking annoying, right there. But yeah, and not so bad. Like I said, $17.99, dudes. I'm not mad. And I don't know, maybe it's still on sale. You might want to check. It was on Amazon.
Limited to 5,000 by the looks of it. Is that what it says?
Yes, there's only 5,000. Now what's kind of weird
I
about
don't know
it
if
is,
that means anything in today's age. It used to mean something back in 2015.
I don't think it commands much value unless you have like 1 through 10 or something like that. And then with these, the numbering is on a certificate of certificate of authenticity. Why was that so hard to say? And it's in the box, so you don't know what number you have unless you open it. So
Let's go.
not really, because if you're a collector, you're at odds with each other now. So collectors don't want that shit opened, and collectors want to know what number it is, bro. So
yeah, you've got number 1 in there. You just don't know it.
That's true. It's like Pokemon cards, bro. Unopened.
It's like that
might have
Madden card
might
that I've
be
got.
one.
That I'm like, I got the gold one. You just don't know.
Exactly.
I just found out, Joe, that we got
Mhm.
more content. We got memes for everyone.
Oh, let's
Sent
go.
by everyone. So these are from the Discord. If you
Let's
guys
go.
got memes for us, they don't necessarily have to be video game related.
As long as they're not offensive or will get me banned, we'll put them on the show. So
Send them in, join the Discord, and jump in the group that's called Memes for Meme Time. So these are all the memes sent in this week. When you press flash, disable flash on your camera. Oh my god!
You just said don't get us banned. First meme. It's a goddamn. Oh my god.
Who sent that one in? I didn't check them. I just downloaded them all.
I would actually prefer we don't check them. We might as well. I mean, like,
I 100% did not look at any of these. This is the first
You
time
know,
I've looked at them.
if we had some controversy, it could only be good for us.
This next one I have seen because I'm the one who posted it. I thought it was funny.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Jason. Hi, nice to meet you, Jason. Wishing you did. I've seen this before with like random bird facts, but I like the
Friends,
random
family,
gaming
random.
knowledge.
Yeah.
960 gaming consoles that's been released since the first generation home video game consoles. Could relate more.
The other guy's face is just like frowning, like, okay.
The real meme's meant to say his name wrong, like "Hi, Jonathan" instead of Jason.
Yeah, and then you just because the Jason doesn't go in. I see it. Yeah.
My buddy is a machine that turns Steam purchases into unplayed games.
Bro,
See, it's better when you don't look at them first.
The autumn sale just went on. I bought a whole bunch of shmups. So, yeah, this is true. Yeah, so we got Mario running towards the to save Princess Peach, and we got that hot ass. Wasn't this like a fan art? Didn't some, or is this isn't real, right? Isn't this supposed to be like-
Dominatrix browser.
yeah, it's like somebody made a female Bowser fan art, and she's like wicked hot. And so Mario just grabs her and walks off and leaves Peach in the cage. He wants to tap that shell, man. Look at that tail. Mm-mm-mm.
The illusion.
Exactly. Shut down.
Update and shut down. Fuck you, updated is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fixing the main game.
Dude, and this is
Working on DLC instead? Yeah.
bro, and this is what I mean about like I'm so sick. I am anti DLC at this point. I know it's like people are
I'm saying,
it's people
Give me a game,
I'm just
and
like
that's
script
it.
line.
Work on number 2. If you can't release it day
Sequels.
1, then delay it.
You know who
I'd rather
does it
the game
right?
be delayed for 2 years than have content released a year after because I'm not going to play it.
Here's the two best. Okay, two best. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. They released Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Gold and Torna. The additional content was basically a standalone game, its own thing, and you could buy it on a cart. It was like its own game. Hell yeah, do that. Do that.
Yeah,
Far Cry. Far Cry are the shit. They come out with the main game, and then they release another Far Cry with the same engine, and then you get the other one. So if you would like to have more Far Cry in your life, you get another Far Cry.
Red Dead Redemption 1 came out with Undead
man.
Nightmare, which was the same engine,
And you can buy it and stand it. Exactly. Yeah, dude. Like that's how you do it.
Right. Or
That's
don't do
how
it
you
all.
do it. So it's not like people are like, well, you like more content. No, I want good more content. What I don't want is my game piecemealed out to me over 3 years, and like literally like the content's already on the disc and I can't even access it. You just decide to make me pay for it to play my whole game. Like it's like insane how much. Screw all that. I'm anti
Got
DLC.
a couple more here.
5 minutes into any Bethesda. That's so true. And then we have a video that I did watch this one because it was a video of the first I watched it. This is funny.
I'm really sorry, okay?
What is wrong with you? Why are you blue?
Oh,
that was good.
why are you blue? No, I mean,
You've seen the blue cases, right?
yeah, exactly. Or it's like when you like see the Saturn in Japan, you're like, huh, these kind of like I like the little CD cases better than like the giant freaking massive jewel cases that break instantaneously as soon as you open them.
That's
all right,
not even the fucked up thing about it. Dude, the first time I opened them, I think I opened it the wrong way.
That's probably what Bell's probably saying. They probably eject at you.
I'm gonna be honest.
Mhm.
First time I tried to play a PSP game, I took the PSP game out of the shell. Like, how the fuck does this thing work? Like, I broke the game. I got it working.
That's hilarious, brother.
I wasn't a collector. I was just. It was like 2010. I bought a cheap PSP. Blah blah blah. 2011.
The UMD was a bad idea in general. I just wish it never was that. I wish it was carts or something immediately from the start.
Yeah, 90% of power in case is broken.
Can I make one? Can I plug one more thing before we wrap this up? I just not even for me.
Plenty more things to go for it.
All right, cool. All right, so I don't know if you guys saw the sweet shirt, dude. See that happy console game,
baby.
So he announced that he was putting these up for sale in a video a couple weeks ago. And if you go on his page, he has a video about them if you would like one. And I think you should go buy one because he's a good dude and you should support him. And if you don't want to give him money and sub and blah, 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 stuff, buy his merch. So, yeah, dude's awesome. And he's been making content for everybody for a long time for free. So I think you should go and buy him.
Oh, yeah, mention that, Sebastian. We were just chatting about that. So you might see collector merch in the future. We'll see what happens.
So I was
coffee mug with all our faces from every guest that's been on the show.
I was actually just gonna donate some sperm to the community. What's Joe's bag of surprises? Yeah, well,
the poor sap that watches movies on his no. The poor sap that uses his PSP to watch porn. Because that's the thing.
They're UMD.
Yeah, got an announcement before we get off topic.
All right.
Next week we do have guests.
I'm about to talk about UMD porn for a long time, so you better.
The show isn't going to just me and Joe, guys. We have got guests lined up. Just
okay. Oh yeah.
We have Phil One Up coming back on the show next Friday. So that should be really fun. Phil's doing some awesome stuff in the community, so it'd be good to have him back on. And then on the Sunday show, we have Niccolo coming back on, so it should be
nice.
Really good.
Sweet. Yeah. And I'm announcing right now that Reggie's going to come back on. He doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to make him. So I'm just kidding.
He would have came back on tonight if
he would have come back on if you were awake. Yeah.
If I didn't wake up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
I'm just joking. Yeah, we should get them.
We have got another announcement. We haven't fully decided yet, but we will be doing a season 3 of the podcast come next year. Things will change a little bit.
Mixing up the format. You'll see less of the Figsy quiz. The quiz will become its own separate show, like you're seeing on YouTube at the moment. It's obviously hard to write questions for the quiz and the podcast, so you'll see the majority of the questions on its own show once a week, and that will be a regular thing. On top of that, you will still see quiz questions. It will just be in a different format. That won't be as long to write, but it will be interactive, hopefully more interactive with you guys.
we'll be bringing a couple of more segments in, hopefully a new intro and maybe even a new song. So yeah, it should be really fun.
Yes, I
Anything
would
else?
like to, with the new intro. I've said this before, and no one has said anything in, but if you would like to send in content for the new intro, we could do that in Discord too. If you want to shoot a little video with your phone, I'm looking for pictures of your game collection, like a little video, maybe you panning over your collection, or something funny or cool that you thought would be funny or cool. So if you have pets and you want to put a PlayStation hat on them or something stupid like that, that sort of thing would be cool. If you want to like dress up or do something like be in it, you can do that. If you want to sing along to the intro or something, you can do that. Like, so if there's any stuff or video you want to send in that you would want to put on the intro, send it in on Discord.
So Banffy brings up a good point. We don't have to just we can start selling our merch today. That's how it works.
Oh, that's right. Actually, our pre-orders are open.
Today. Merch will be coming out by 2030. We're gonna have what products can we make up that these other companies make up? Video game. We'll just make some video game up. What's the one companies all want digital? Yeah, we got it coming, guys.
If you pre-order now, in 3 years, you will have a coin. Okay. This is worth waiting 12 years for, in my
made
opinion.
out of metal, by the way. This is a metal that may become extinct by the year 2030. You don't know. You can't speculate on it. Just because this metal's found in every single building in the world, you don't know. It could be a rare metal. It's not silver, but
So I think the first thing we should release is like a Speedo swimsuit with a picture of me and you on each testicle. I think that should be the first thing that we release, and it doesn't have anything to do with PlayStation. That's just it. What do you guys think? I think it would sell like hotcakes.
I think it's already sold out. That's
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask. We're going to send free ones out to people and ask members of the community to model for us, and we're going to make a little like calendar.
But the way we're going to sell them is at midnight they'll drop and they'll sell out. So you've got to buy them. Old limited.
They will, because they'll come with.
But if
free
you want
coin.
a copy, there's a $5 membership a month that you can sign up for that puts you on the list.
Bro, I want to do sexy PlayStation collectors of the world calendar more than anything else. More than anything else in the world, bro. And I want it to be like no holds bar, like we all just look terrible. And then we just do it. Just absolutely. We could all hold our favorite game. And we could get, and then everyone could buy them. Everyone could buy them for their wives and their girlfriends, and be like, I mean, clearly this is what you're into. I mean, you're with me. You obviously love this look. You love this, dude. We're gonna make big, bro. Pre-orders open now. Comes with a coin. All right.
On that note, we might call that a night.
It's completely off the rails.
Gonna edit the last 20 minutes out of this one.
The hell, that make that its own. Make that a clip. Put that out as a short. People watch it. It'll go viral. People will be like, "When's it coming out? Take my money."
All right. On that note, we're gonna leave you guys to it. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Later, everybody.
You found the